So while Aaron's been busy blowing all of my money and his schedule on the Porsche, I've been on the hunt for more game. The 68 Shelby GT350 popped up on the old interwebs for sale, and I figured, why not? Let's go to Southern California. This guy's got a original paint 68 GT350.
Mustangs are cheap to restore, it's just the rust is the problem.
He told me it's rust-free. The pictures look rust-free, and I mean, when rust-free, I mean like zero. I brought Dennis along because basically he's the foremost Shelby authority in all of the land, right?
I don't know about that, but I bought and sold a bunch of them. Guy lives in a multi-million-dollar house. He's got his own private road.
Dude, this is crazy. The guy just seemed like a regular car dude. Let's go see what he's got.
This could be interesting.
You guys found the place okay, I guess?
We did. It's incredible.
It's,
not what we expected.
Little shack out here in Alpine.
Dennis Collins.
Dylan, it's Paul Garrett.
Richard Rawlings, we spoke on the phone.
Yes, yes.
So,
I got a few things I want to show you.
Pretty rad, man.
Thanks. What the heck? I'm Paul Garrett. I'm a car builder. Been doing this pretty much all my life. Customizing cars, buying and selling, trading, restoring. This is something I do. It's a hobby.
Right on.
Make a couple bucks here and there. It's a passion.
Well, we must be doing something wrong.
This looks like a good time.
My 5th buggy. This time I wanted the extreme of the extreme on this go-around.
How much is this?
About $140.
Wow. Well, let's talk about the much cheaper Shelby. Where's that at?
Well, that stuff's out here in the boneyard.
Do we really have to go back to a hotel? Why don't we just stay with you?
Yeah, we got room. We have room. We hang out, have parties, socialize.
Wait a second, man. You didn't have these cars listed on the net. What is that?
I'm not really ready to sell these yet, you know. Maybe.
Is that an original Boss?
That's original Boss 302.
Wow. So we get through the pool house, and there's a Boss 302 sitting there in red, which I've never even seen one. That's super rare. There's a Boss 351 Mustang 71 model. It's wicked. Ford offered the Mustang in a bunch of different configurations, so depending on the option packages on these here, we could be looking at some seriously valuable cars.
Paul, is this a real black car?
As far as I know, it is. It looks like it. You scrape the paint deep. I don't see any other colors underneath of it.
There's no doubt about it. These are all rare Mustangs, and I'm trying to contain my excitement. I mean, I want them, but I don't even know if they're for sale yet. And if they are, they could be pricey. So Tricky Ricky's got to play it cool on this one. All right, so that's cool. Well, maybe we'll talk about these, but where's the Shelby?
All right,
I'm a Shelby
This
guy.
is the one you want to look at.
Yeah, there we go.
There she is.
Highland green tan interior. Ooh, little sun-baked.
Yeah, but that's what kept it all dry. No rust, no cancer.
Look, that's a Hertz car.
What?
Yep, see the DSO?
Yeah.
Hirsch rented them out.
Yep.
They had a Hertz Rent-A-Racer package. We get in the garage, and the Shelby is really, really nice. I mean, it's got one blowout tinted fender. I looked underneath. The torque boxes were great. The floorboards were great. I mean, it looked like a brand new car underneath. How long you had this car?
Not very long. You know, I found them, and I decided to haul them home.
You find all these cars in the same spot?
One spot, lady's backyard, been sitting there for years.
Cool.
On end.
Can they all be for sale, or?
Are they all for sale right now?
Well, I came here to obviously try to buy this one, but you didn't tell me you had those on the phone. I hadn't seen. I'm walking by, you know, a couple of Bosses and a Mach 1.
We can probably cut a deal for the whole package.
If I can have a few minutes, I need to look at the VINs and I need to make a phone call.
See, that's why I brought you, Dennis. Folks, it's go time. Paul's now willing to make this a Mustang Fiesta. The problem is, I don't even know if I have enough money for that stuff.
It's missing some of the pieces, but I think this is a Super Cobra Jet, not a Cobra Jet.
So I brought my buddy Dennis out here to Alpine, California to help me verify 68 Shelby. But now I'm trying to include 3 more Mustangs into the deal. Dude, they're rougher than stucco bathtubs.
Yeah, dude, but they're not rusty.
We know they're rare, but neither of us really are sure exactly how much they're worth.
I guess it depends what he wants.
Well, who can you call Kevin Marty, can't you?
He told us at Barrett Jackson last time if we were in a super jam to call him. He normally needs 30 days, but he said he would do it.
Well, I would say 2 Bosses and a
I'm gonna
Mach.
take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture of all 3 of these VINs and call him and see if he'll do it for us.
All right, what you got, Holmes?
All right, I know you think I exaggerate this stuff sometimes, but
Gosh, did we find holy grails?
this one actually is.
Why?
Because it has no options. And it's a 430 gear car. That is incredible. And he said red is super rare. He didn't have time to go through all the deals.
Yeah.
He also said that they only made 20 of those.
And then what about this one?
Not only is it a Cobra Jet, it's a Super Cobra Jet with a drag pack.
What?
Yeah. So these 3 cars in their own right, in my opinion, these are all better than what you're trying to buy.
So what's a, like, steal it package figure?
I think 100 grand would be.
Like stealing it?
Yeah. Don't try to kill him too hard. He's gonna tell us to beat it.
Yeah, he obviously doesn't need the money.
Yeah. I want this car. You want to ride in this car, you will freak out.
Right now, I just get a bunch of rough vinyl up. So where are we at on this car? I mean, what's your figure today?
35,000.
That's too much for just this car. Maybe I can average out. What do you want for all four? Because those are pretty cool, too. They're just rough.
You know what's out there, right?
Well, I think that I have a pretty good understanding because my little boy Dennis here jumped on the phone and checked it all out, and we know it's there.
So all four of them. Counting this one.
Yes, sir.
$100,000.
God, they just need everything, and then I got to transport them.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like once I saw this car in person, more like 20-ish, and you got, you know, $10,000, $12,000 a piece out there. I mean, what about like 50 grand?
No, I'll keep them. I'll sell this for 35, but you got to come up with a number. My number's at 100. What's your number? Let's go up. Let's go up.
Well, I only came to buy this car, so let me go see how much cash I even have to deal with. Did you bring any?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Dig deep.
Let's see what we got in the car.
I didn't bring very much, dude. I only brought like 20-something grand.
So we had to walk away and figure out what we had before I even did a negotiation, because if I'm going to do a cash deal and try to get it down to a certain point, I got to make sure I got the right amount of money on me.
I hope that's a big stack.
Well, that's all we have.
It's pretty good size.
Are we getting close?
I was at 50, and you didn't counter me. What do you think?
I'm trying to stick to 80. That's the lowest I can go. 80 grand for these four cars.
Well, here's where I'm at. I got 65,000 bucks in cash.
And that's honestly all we have. And we shouldn't have had that. I was supposed to be buying a Jeep with mine, but...
And this was supposed to be money for going out tonight. 65. I mean, they're cool cars, but they're gonna need everything.
All right, let's do it.
Killer, man. All right. So the steal-it price for these cars was 100 grand, and we got them for 65. That's insane.
It is.
Dennis, you're gonna need to do the paperwork.
Each one of these are
10, 10, 10, and whoa. You're gonna let it blow away, man. So now we have 4 cars instead of 1. Appreciate it, brother. Absolutely.
Get them out of here tonight for that. Thanks, Paul.
load them all up, guys. Get them out.
We should be able to flip them for a lot of money, but who knows? Until you get them to the shop and know exactly what you have, it's an unknown. But at 65 grand, I'll take that unknown all day long.
Jason, how are we doing on replumbing those lines?
The cooling lines you were asking about in the front of the upper radiator on this side, I'm getting ready, as soon as I locate that hose, everything is finished to the hard pipe.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
so
excellent.
we got one more piece, and then we're ready for the mid
done.
pipes. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
You know, we've been so far behind that it might even get Richard off our backs.
Yep, I bet you're right.
Hello.
Hello.
We're back.
Yep.
Right in that same familiar spot where we were supposed to be doing a build that was gonna be quick and easy, and might as well just start from the beginning.
Well, you guys are up early.
Well, dude, you said you had a cheap Porsche. About a week ago, I bought this 2000 Porsche 996 from my buddy Dennis because it had a blown motor.
Deal.
All right.
You know, I'd always wanted to hot rod a car like this. You know, marry all that fine European technology with an obscene amount of American horsepower. In fact, Richard owns a 2016 Porsche Turbo S.
That's fast, brother.
And I believed our little junkyard Porsche could run as fast or faster at half the price. I think we can hang with this car. I think it's possible we could even beat it. I'd love to race it.
You calling me out?
You know what? Yeah, because you went down to the dealership and just bought a fast car. We're gonna build a fast car, and I think our built car can hang with this.
Oh, that's a bet.
Let's do it. Although I was after speed, the first thing I had to tackle was the car's rather soft look, dominated by those frog-eyed headlights. So I tracked down a kit that would convert the 996 front end to a much meaner-looking 997, as well as give it a more aggressive profile.
All that set me back over 12K. And guess what?
The holes don't line up. They're not even close.
Oh, that's not a good start. Yeah.
Didn't fit.
Well, it needed a little bit of work to make it fit.
A lot of work.
The next challenge was to squeeze in our big LS3 8-cylinder crate motor. You know, the same racing motors that power Chevy Corvettes.
I'm hearing something.
I hear crunching noises.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
We're actually in.
Boom! It's in, but we still can't fire the thing because it turns out that we have to replace every single hose on the car because they're all contaminated by the original blown head gasket.
We've got a lot of problems due to that. It infested every part of the car.
So we got an air-filled rented, and we're ready for our Porsche off in just over a week. Now, my 2016 is ready, but as for Aaron's junkyard Porsche,
Well, we may have a few things left to finish up.
yeah, it's pretty hard to win a race without any hoses or belts or suspension and wheels and...
Hey, you ready to hang this front end? Let's do it. Can't finish replumbing all the hoses until we get this in place.
You got the good side.
Oh, I get the steering knuckle, huh?
Yeah.
Lucky me.
All right, can you actually hold that?
Yep. Can I hold
Stay.
it? Okay, I'm tired now. Hey, Kemp, please come back.
Is it that bad?
It's heavy.
Well, Jason.
Heavy. Oh.
Scaring me.
Scared me
I'm
for a
never
second.
sure.
Hey. Right now, Jeremy and I are dropping in the front suspension on our 2000 Porsche. Like everything else on this car, it's a little bit old, a little bit new. Part Eurotech and part good old American know-how. Got your cutters?
Cool. Yes.
We're upgrading the lower control arms to give the system a better rigidity. What do you got? Adding new struts and coils all around that will not only lower the car, but make it handle better too. I'm sure Aaron wants to give himself every possible edge when he's racing Rich's Porsche.
There we go.
You liked it?
Much muy bueno now?
Excellent, super duper.
All right, let's get the rest of these hoses in pronto. Unfortunately, changing all the hoses is a really time-consuming process, and we're already a few days behind.
Let me spin you over here. There we go. You got it? You good? Okay. It's gone down. There we go. There we go, right there. Yeah. Jeremy, you done fabricating that hose? We're gonna need it here in just a second.
I'm coming. Just one more minute.
I really believe the American motor we're putting in can hang with Ricardo's Porsche, but that's all theoretical until we get the engine fired.
Well, here, Barry, hey, hand him the air hose and send it back this way.
Come on, guys. Let's move this along. Andale. We're all feeling the pressure because I opened my trap and challenged Richard to a race. So now I got to put my money where my mouth is and make sure we got a car that can win it.
We've got all the heater hoses done on all
We
the way
just
up
need to
to
time
here.
up.
From the back of the pump or towards the front of the car is all done.
Okay.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
As much as I'm ever gonna be. See what happens.
Oh, yeah. That's worth cheering over.
So we're coming down to the wire on our junkyard Porsche build, and Sam from Advanced Modern Performance just finished firing up our LS3, and he seems to be having all of our systems playing nicely together. Cool. All right, guys. The race against Richard is tomorrow morning, so we have to get everything wrapped up and get it into the trailer so we can get it over to be dyno.
All right, let's put this thing to bed.
Y'all got the right hardware for it?
Stainless Felipe's.
All right. Great. That works for me, man. All I need is for Mike and Kiki to finish mounting up the rear fender flares, and then it's over to Sam's for a late-night dyno session. So a few more turns of the screwdriver, and we should be out of here.
I cannot believe this. This is not working back here. Seriously, pull down, because this is like, holes won't line up. I don't need this.
Listen to me.
You know, it's never fun when something you're working on just doesn't come together like it should.
Hey, is Aaron watching?
Quit. I mean, I've already had one incident last week with the fenders when Aaron was not mad at me, and I'd really like to avoid another. But it's kind of hard when the whole world is watching you.
I hate it when something don't go right and they're woman.
They're always doing that.
Everything's good. Yep, looks great. All right, cool. If I just get them walk away, they'll go away. Come on.
Let's do the other side.
Go to the other side, like that side's perfectly great.
Sure, camera guy.
Oh, I'm gonna zoom in on it and focus and make sure that focus on where all these bolts are missing. Oh, I got two of them.
At least the left rear flare goes on easy peasy. Looks good, looks real good. And as far as this right flare, I elected to make an executive decision to let somebody else deal with this mess.
Dude, all you had to do is tighten this up here. What do you know? Bolts fit just fine now, Mike.
Figure it out.
Yep, of course. Whew. All right. Done.
You know, I'm thinking maybe I just need a vacation.
Okay, get this out of here.
Punch it. There you go.
Guys, I'm still in here.
So here you go, our 2000 Porsche Carrera Cabriolet with a whole bunch of crazy Kaufman in it. Basically, I got this car for a song off my buddy Dennis Collins because it had a blown motor. This was supposed to be a quick flip. Maybe we throw a motor in it, but Aaron wasn't having it.
One primary problem was Richard didn't specify which motor he wanted.
Since we do everything bigger and better here in Texas, 6-cylinder really wasn't going to cut it for me on this one, so we needed a V8.
Man, I couldn't be more excited.
The guys over at Scoggin Dickey dug up a Chevrolet Performance LS3. It's a 495-horse version of it.
This is running stock throttle body, stock manifolds on the exhaust.
And we're still able to put down 330-something horsepower on the ground.
So as soon as Aaron and the guys started slaving away on the truck, I started looking for something else to buy. And I think I might have found it down in San Diego. If I can buy a car in San Diego, that gives me an excuse to go to San Diego, which is on the ocean, which is where the weather's good and there's palm trees and good-looking chicks. So I don't care what I got to pay for it, I'm gonna buy it. Then, when I rolled up to the owner's place, oh yeah, my trip got even better. I'm like, holy hot rod Nirvana, man, this is rad. You must be Jason.
Yeah, how you doing?
Richard Rawlings, how you doing, man?
Nice to meet you.
You said look for the big bald guy. So there we go.
My name is Jason Sharp, and I run Sharp Engineering.
This little 29.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty cool find. What's this?
Yeah, we just got this thing at the Big 3 swap meet.
Jason showed me around his place, and I had to look at some of his cool stuff. Where in the world did that come from? I've never seen anything like it. Turns out his grandfather was Al Sharp, who was pretty famous in the old school hot rodding world for designing custom performance parts. I guess when I talked to you, I didn't realize that you're like a working shop. But I didn't come all the way out here for parts. So where's this little tea bucket I was looking at on the interwebs? Oh, here we go. This is what I came for.
This is it.
That is so cool, man. It almost looks like, you know, like one of the Hot Wheels things you played with as a kid.
Right, yeah.
So a T-Bucket is basically a hot-rodded Model T. When the more popular Model A bodies were hard to get, greasers would just throw a T-body on a Model A chassis, and it just kind of came about that was a T-Bucket. But in the 60s, it became kind of a fad. There were actually people selling T-Bucket kits. So this was the kit you could order out of a catalog. Or something like that, right? The body and stuff?
Yeah, they sold you a little square tubing frame, and you could put whatever motor you want in them.
So this is just a standard 350, no big deal, no...
It's a 327.
327,
Got a big cam in it.
It's just nuts. I mean, it looks like a cartoon. I mean, the steering wheel's literally a stick between your legs, and it's straight up and down like that. It's not like this, you know?
It's a scary car to drive.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Will it fire up?
Yeah, I can see. It might be a little cold-blooded.
So can we go for a ride?
Yeah.
Wow!
It's real raw and a little squirrely.
Freaking super cool.
The rake on that thing, it just kind of freaks you out.
It's got to be a sight going down the road. I wish I was over there looking at it. I'd be like, rat. Judging by the angle of the cab, I wasn't really into some donuts because I figured that might just throw me out. But you slam on the brakes at this angle and you're just going over.
Yeah, it's the catapult. It's pretty much a death machine.
That is so rad, dude. And it seems so deadly.
Right?
How much for it? What do you want for it?
I was thinking 12.
12 grand?
Won't see another one.
No, I haven't seen one like this in a long time, except in the pages of old hot rod magazines. So, of course, he hit me a little high. The car is rare, but he's got to leave a little meat on the bone. I still got to get it back to Texas, and I want to be under 10. I was thinking more around 7,500, 8 grand.
How about 10.5?
How about 9,500? Cash.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good.
We settled at 9,500, which is going to put me a little over 10 when I get it back home, but it's a good deal. Let's go count you some money and get a title and do some paperwork. Anyways, I got to get out of here before I spend any more money because I got something really big coming up, and that's already putting a squeeze on my bank account. And when I'm surrounded by this many hot rods, I would really like to just buy the whole place. Yeah, it's dangerous.
All right, let's see what kind of stuff you're made of. Wow, what a win. Richard has tasked me with getting this T-bucket ready to sell. The engine fires up, but it runs like You know, cars are like people. Sometimes they let themselves go. I missed my 10 o'clock ones. I don't even know why they have seatbelts in this thing. Who the heck would want to be strapped into this thing? Hoping all it needs is a thorough tune-up. You got to get back in shape. You could almost drive this in a parade, like stand up on the seat and just like kind of. This would be perfect for Richard, man. Basically, what I've done to it is I've put spark plug wires, a cap, rotor, and I'm gonna set the timing. How do you like that, America? Now that it's running better, we're gonna make it look better, too. Ooh, it's like Christmas. Raise the value by like $100. Sweet. Yeah. Feel old. You know what they say, no pain, no gain. All right, Tony, get rid of this thing.
Hey guys, take 5 and come outside. You're gonna wanna see this. My new toy's here.
Another toy? You bought a rig?
Heck no, man. We're gonna start crushing stuff and doing backflips. Monster truck, man.
Really?
Yeah. Let me introduce you to the latest addition to my Gas Monkey empire. That's right, a Gas Monkey Monster Jam truck. Super rad. Monster Jam is the ultimate monster truck showdown. These crazy car crushers draw big crowds. Big and brash is what Gas Monkey's all about, so I thought, why not sponsor a team? It's another great way to get our name out there and one of the loudest ways possible. Get you some of that! Now, we know cars, but this is kind of a different ball game, and I'm excited to get in there and play. What are we running for a motor?
This motor, we put a 540 cubic inch Richard Midget motor, then it's blown injected on alcohol.
Wow.
So it just dynoed out at 1,500 horse before we got here.
That is rad. And Lindsay, you're the mechanic?
Yes, sir.
Right on.
Hey, Aaron, check it out.
All right, check it out. My seat's up there.
Get up in there, Aaron. He's our resident race car driver.
So in actuality, Richard's monster truck isn't even a truck at all. It's a car. Dodge Super Bee. Clear?
Yep.
Clear.
Sitting up there, the big kid in me thinks this is a monumental waste of material. But the little kid inside of me thinks this is awesome. It's like a hot rod version of a dump truck.
Woo. You ready to be a truck driver, Aaron? Monster truck driver?
I've been ready, I just haven't had one before.
Well, here you go.
Hey, don't take this guy's job yet, man. Easy.
I was like, he fits the seat pretty good, just gotta move the pedals closer.
The reason the team's here in Dallas is because we got a major event coming up next week. We'll let you guys get after it. My home is your home.
Thank you very much.
They're gonna claim an unused portion of our garage and get our monster prepped and ready. So me and Aaron are on a special mission of sorts today, and it involves one of our favorite things, trucks. You see, in about 6 weeks, we're heading to Lone Star Throwdown north of Houston. Whether they own a hot rod shop or are just weekend warriors, folks come out to LST to share their admiration for one of God's finest creations, the truck. Aaron and I think it's time Gas Monkey joined the party, but we don't want to show up empty-handed. Basically, this guy passed away and has a 50s Chevy truck, super cool body style. They sent me a couple pictures, but I can't.
Round fenders.
Yeah,
Chevy.
if it's in good enough shape, we'll build it for the show. There's a lot of old pickup trucks out here in Texas, but they're disappearing pretty fast.
Yeah.
Kind of like the jackalopes. You don't see those hardly at all anymore.
I don't. When I was a kid, I used to see them everywhere. Out in Mill Street.
Well, let's see. Look, there it is over there. Let's go check it out. 49 Chevy, 3100.
Man, that's one of my favorite trucks.
Since the day they traded a mule for a motor, American men have been dreaming about trucks. The average Joe loved the look of the 49 Chevy when it hit the roads after World War II, so it's no surprise greasers have been hot rodding them for decades since. But somehow they missed this one, which could be good news for us. Texas farm truck right there.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I love all the wacky grill guards they always used to put on. It's the first time I've seen stacked bumpers, though.
Hi, how you doing?
How you doing, guys? Richard Rawlings.
Reagan Quigley, nice to meet you.
Dan Edwards.
Dan, we talked on the phone, so this is the old pickup truck that you're been entrusted with turning into money.
Yes, sir.
Well, it looks like a pretty good old truck.
Reagan's the niece of the guy that owned it, and Dan was his best friend, and is in charge of liquidating the estate.
He's had it for 10 to 15 years sitting out here. Don't know the history of it beyond that.
What's amazing about it is all the slats are relatively perfect. I don't think this truck got worked very hard.
It sat pretty hard.
It hasn't been messed with at all. This is a cool truck. Well, we checked the truck over, and I gotta tell you, it's way better than I could have hoped. It appears to be almost completely original. We rarely find them this complete, this clean, this unmolested. And this is a cool truck.
Shh, we still got to get it bought. Aaron was so thrilled with the truck that he forgot the cardinal rule. Never let them know how much you want it. Hopefully, he didn't tip our hand. Well, you told me on the phone you were wanting $3,500 for it. I like it. It's straight and it's good. It's not all rotted out, but I don't think I can do $3,500. It needs motor and training, rear end and brakes and tires and wheels and...
I might be talked down to 3,000.
I was thinking more like 1,000.
1,000. You can do me better than that, Richard.
Oh, how about we split the middle and $2,000? I got cash.
Good thing.
I'm leaving that to you.
Okay, we'll take 2,000 for it.
Well, that's a good deal. So there you go. We got possibly one of the last complete farm trucks in Texas for a pretty decent price. There we go. I did my part. Aaron, you gonna load this thing?
Sure.
Well, you got about, what, 2-hour drive to think about what you're gonna do to it?
Sure.
Tell me how much money you're gonna beat me out of?
Well, don't worry about that just yet.
Okay, I ain't gonna worry about that.
Hey, guys, check that out.
Is that what we're gonna build for the truck show?
Papa done good.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Ooh, I like that
damn.
truck, man.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
thought you were supposed to say, oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
I like it.
That's bad, dude.
You finally found something
It's
nice.
real nice. It's probably the nicest bodied one of these I've bought ever.
You know, Richard's pulled into this lot with a ton of cool cars, but nothing makes us happier than when we see a truck on that old trailer, especially a sweet old farm truck like this.
What do you think about this dual bumper?
Fat fenders.
And it's pretty much all there.
Usually they're all cut up and
Yeah.
It's just happy as can be, man.
yeah, this thing is a clean one.
That'd make a heck of a build.
Every guy here grew up working on trucks. Big trucks, little trucks. We're from Texas. Of course we're gonna love trucks. We know we're building this for LST, but what are you gonna let us do with it?
I dig this truck a lot. Usually I'd want to, like, just clear it, lower it, but as nice as it is, I think this truck needs to be, like, built. I mean...
Oh, I do too. I'd love to build this thing done, nice, polished chassis. I mean, right. I'd love to.
Oh, so you really want to go all the way. Okay, so I knew Aaron wanted to build a truck to show off at LST, but I didn't know he was wanting to build a show quality truck. I mean, that's pretty much shooting for perfection, and that bar is set really high. That's a whole different ballgame. What do you guys think? Y'all on board?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Dude, I'm in.
With a show quality truck, it's not exactly how crazy you go, it's how well you execute the plan.
We're gonna put air stacks on it, and I don't think we need to put big billets on it. I don't think it's that kind of truck. I want something that's really classic. I really think going small, like 15s, big whites on it, and absolutely hammered.
So you're just thinking small block Chevy, air conditioned?
Yeah, I mean, it's like nothing over the top. What it's really just gonna be is a wonderful, nice truck. And we really want the truck to be super sharp and pop.
I like where Aaron's going with this, but when you're building a show quality truck, I mean, that takes most people months, if not years. And LST is in 6 weeks. Are you sure that's enough time before the show down there?
Is it enough time? No, but it's never been enough time. We may have a couple of weekends, a couple of long nights, but you know, going to LST with that truck that shows them exactly what we can do here, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely put time in.
All right, cool. I just got one question. Can I pick the color?
No.
We know what the mandates are. They're green and black.
That's
we
all
can't do that.
Well, I was gonna say black. I wasn't gonna say green.
Wait, so I had Mike throw away all the black and all the green paints in the entire shop.
We got pink and blue.
All right, well, I get it. Killer. My job's done. Y'all get it off and get started. Oh! Yeah. It doesn't mean monkeying around either.
Dude, it's nasty in here.
Why you gotta crawl all over it? Check it out when it's inside. Get it off the trailer.
What's his problem? He is grumpy as hell.
Seriously, you're not gonna make the truck show if you don't get to work. So how do you get a 49 Chevy ready to represent Gas Monkey Garage at Lone Star Throwdown? Well, you give it a clean look that reeks of class with enough mean to make everyone stand up and take notice. So here goes.
Like most of our hot rods, we want it slammed close to the ground, so we're going to put it on air ride. But this time, I'm actually going to use smaller wheels than I typically do and put on white wall tires to give it a classic look. Our ultimate goal is a daily driver. So for our motivation, we chose a Chevrolet Performance and Scoggin Dickey ZZ5. That small block delivers about 400 horsepower, plenty enough to impress without overflexing the muscle. We don't have a lot of interior to play around with, so we're gonna have to find a way to make it stand out. And I'm thinking vintage materials might be the way to go. We'll have Mike splash on a show quality paint job and put on a lot of bright work. Maybe even a chrome grille to make it sparkle a little more.
I'll let the budget float as high as maybe $60,000.
Keep going.
And if Aaron and the crew can pull off the level of perfection that they're looking for, and we can get it down to Lone Star Throwdown and show it off, well, I think I can turn it for maybe double that. Of course, Aaron's gonna have to do in 6 weeks what some people can't even do in 6 months. I'd stay tuned if I was you.
All right, guys, the clock's ticking. Let's blow this thing apart.
My God, what a mess.
We've had some fast builds around here, but 6 weeks for what we want to do is pushing it. At least we're starting off with a really good specimen. For an old 49 model pickup, it's solid.
There's no giant gaping holes in the floor. The bottom of the fenders aren't missing. You know, the outside of the doors, the bottom of the doors are intact. This really is a great truck. I don't know that we're gonna be able to
Take it
sell
on
this to the dumpster.
Yeah, why not?
What I'm excited about is a lot of times when we finish a build, Richard sells the car the second we're done, and a lot of our peers out there in the car world don't get to see what we've accomplished up close.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about. How do you get up here? I can't make it.
Kid, you need help or what?
Golly, dude.
There you go.
Rad. This is a whoa moment right here. This is rad. Wheeled up, ready to rock. You know, I'm always looking to get our brand out in front of new eyeballs, and so Gas Monkey is sponsoring a Monster Jam truck, and its crew is here getting ready for its Dallas debut. We ready?
We have our teammate here with us, Chuck Werner.
He's gonna test it tomorrow night.
Test it tomorrow night? Hell, why can't we test it now?
Do you got something to smash?
I got tons of to smash. You want to smash something cool or something?
Something cool.
Oh, I got an idea.
What you got?
I'll meet you on the field in the back there.
All
Let me
right.
go get it.
We'll be ready.
Oh, yeah.
Can't believe you're crushing this car.
They said they wanted something cool to crush. Dodge said they were gonna have to crush it anyways. I've got a 2015 Dodge Hellcat that was loaned out to me, and well, we robbed a bunch of parts off of it for some other projects. It is a pre-production car, which means they can't sell it. It's gotta go back, they gotta crush it, and what have you. So I figured I'd just help them out a little bit. What do you think, man?
I think it's a great idea. We already stole all the interesting things. We're just expediting the process.
That's right. See, they should pay us for this. Look at the rocks. Woo! Yeah!
How much fun is that?
How's that for a car crush?
Yeah! Rad, let's go see what he did. Looks like you could survive a crash in one of these if you just ducked.
I thought it would crumble up, but it's pretty hard.
Kick ass. That rocks. So, are we ready for the show?
Looks like it's 100%.
Good job.
I thought that was a good test.
Guys and girls and Chuck, high five. 2015 Hellcat crushed. Test complete. Truck's running great. Ran that thing over. And I am ready to go to AT&T Stadium. It is Monster Jam time. Bam. Let's get back to work, guys.
That's gonna show up on the Carfax.
Yeah. Hey, Mater, get this thing cleaned up out on the front lot for sale. What's up, guys? How we doing? You guys waiting in line or what?
Hey, brother, get some
Right on, what's up? Yeah. What's up, my man?
Yo, what's happening?
You ready to rip it?
Oh, you ready to watch me
How you
rip it
gonna
is the
do
question.
it? Blow it up, blow it up. One of the good things about not being a mechanic is I get to go out and play while the other guys are sweating it out back at the shop. Well, tonight, I'm gonna play it up big time. Dude, this is crazy. What do they pack this stuff with? We're at AT&T Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play. So you're gonna go off of this with that. This is the Texas debut of the Monster Jam Gas Monkey Garage monster truck. Woo! That is wicked cool, man.
This is awesome.
Yeah!
It's game time, and these boys will be out for blood tonight. Everybody that's out here, all 16 Monster Jam trucks, we won't disappoint, I promise you that.
So the big deal is Gravedigger. He's been on top for so damn long, somebody needs to kick him off the pedestal. When you're talking about Monster Jam and monster trucks in general, Gravedigger, that's the one that's been around the longest. Hell, I think I had a Gravedigger toy when I was a kid. That's the one you want to beat. He's badass. Get you some of this! Especially you, Gravedigger, wherever you are.
Richard, you know, he's got a little mouth to him. I like him. He's a little cocky. But I've been in a monster truck business for a long time. And in the end, Gravedigger usually gets you.
He's on my turf now. It's going down.
This is Monster Jam!
Yeah! So, Monster Jam works kind of like drag racing. Competitors face off one-on-one in a series of elimination heats. Trucks keep advancing until there's only one left, and that's the champ.
Coming to the Monster Jam starting line, Gas Monkey Garage going to be taking on El Diablo.
All right, let's do it. Come on! Rip it! Go, 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 go! Get around it, get around it, get around it! Come on, go, 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 go! Get you some of that! Yeah! So round one just happened. We're advancing. We beat El Diablo. No problems so far.
Well, Monster Jam fans, it is Metal Militia! And who wants to see Gas Monkey Garage make it to the championship round race? And your winner, Metal Militia!
All right, we didn't win, but my team is still kicking down doors.
You guys having fun
What's
yet?
going on? Dude, that was rad. And you beat Gravedigger. Oh, there he is. What's up,
I ain't
man?
afraid of blowing up motors.
Good job, man.
Thanks, man.
Good job.
I think we got you, but we're both out. I didn't want you to get hurt or anything. I just wanted you to crash.
We'll probably see that here shortly.
Good luck, brother. Next
All right,
time.
man. Yes, sir.
All the trucks still have one more place to shine. We'll see you in the freestyles.
Are you ready, Arlington, for more freestyle?
In freestyle, you get 90 seconds to put on your crazy and try to score some big points. The thing is, you can't use all your time if you end up on your back. There we go, there we go, there we go. Freestyle, I told Joey, go for broke, you know, either break it or win. I said break it or win, and he broke it.
14 seconds left on the clock.
So we didn't win, whatever, who cares? This is kick-ass. We got the Gas Monkey logo out there in front of a great new crowd, and on top of that, we had a hell of a good time. Yeah! I mean, what's cooler than that? Whoa! Bam! Woo! Check it out.
Man, that's one of my favorite trucks.
When I found this 1949 Chevrolet pickup, me and Aaron ran down to an old farm and scooped it up and brought it back to the shop.
Oh, damn.
The problem was, the Lone Star Throwdown's going down in Houston in 6 weeks, and I'm like, you can't build this truck that fast. And he goes, well, yeah, we can. We just need the money.
You know, obviously we didn't have a lot of time, but we knew what we were capable of, and we wanted to push that a little bit. And so we set our sights high, and we got to work. Are you okay?
Our first step shaved weeks off of our build.
What? Chassis work's done. TCI has just released their brand new bumper-to-bumper chassis on air. We think we may even have the first one.
Rock and roll. It showed up complete and ready to be built.
Only had to make a few minor modifications and tweaks to make it all work. Motivating our 49 Chevy was easy.
We used a Chevrolet Performance ZZ5 from Scoggin Dickey, backed up with an overdrive 700 R4 from Monster Transmission.
This is the street rod package, and the reason it's that package is because it works that well. The original bed frame was too far gone to salvage, so we went with a replacement kit from LMC Truck, who proved to be an indispensable and quick source for many of the reproduction parts we needed. Because the truck was going to be so low, we had to lift the bed floor. It took a little extra time to actually make the factory braces that support the bed floor, actually integrate them as the risers so they bolt on as one unit.
On top of that, we had to make a new bed floor and stain the natural wood dark enough to match the truck, but still maintain the grain.
I think it was time well spent 100%.
When it came to the color, Coy had to do a show quality paint job in a very short amount of time, and he pulled it off big time. I mean, black shows every imperfection there is, but you're not gonna find any on this truck. We were putting a lot of money into making this a custom show quality truck.
So when it came to the interior of the truck, we needed something clean, simple, and executed well. We turned to Sculpt in South Texas. This is what they're known for. We came up with what we think is a great program incorporating both leather and vintage materials on the door panels as well as the seat. This is simply one of the best interiors that we've put in, albeit very small.
For rolling stock, I didn't want to go big this time.
It's been a while since I'd used a wheel and tire package that was small and had white walls and caps on, and I thought, what better project than this one right here? But it does come with one drawback. How do we shut down, you know, a little pickup truck with a hot motor without having the big wheel support the big brakes? Well, it was easy. Willwood made a really nice four-wheel disc brake setup. It's absolutely incredible how fast this little truck shuts down. Definitely no lack of braking power here.
On top of all of that,
everything's hardlined, everything's hidden, the motor is painted, everything is detailed and done. This was one heck of a build that I absolutely enjoyed and definitely tested how much finish work we could put into one vehicle in such a small time frame.
The end result, simple perfection, show quality truck. I can't be more proud of the guys and what they turned out. So I'm excited to get this truck down to the Lone Star Throwdown in Houston and show it off. So I'm out of here. You driving?
Yeah.
They got cold beer down there?
They definitely got cold beer.
Woo!
Anyway, it's been a long week. It's definitely been a long night. About to be a long drive.
Oh, did you? Oh, what a gentleman.
Every time.
What a
The guys,
gentleman.
a lot of hard work. Definitely a lot of late nights. Yeah, absolutely killed it. One hell of a job, guys.
Thank you, sir.
I'm glad everybody made it down. I had a good time riding down, too.
So we just barely finished our 1949 Chevy 3100 last night, somewhere around midnight, 1. The pressure was definitely on the last 2 weeks of this build, and everybody absolutely pulled their weight and then some. But we're here. It's time to relax, check out some of the cars, maybe have some beers and a turkey leg.
All right, let's go.
Look at that truck. Okay, we're trying.
This truck looks pretty good.
Hey, yeah, that's a good one. Who built this?
Man, it's huge. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's
There's a lot of
crazy.
people out here.
Yeah.
I know one thing, we didn't bring wheels big enough.
No, we didn't.
So we're truck guys.
We are truck guys. Look at that truck.
I like this color.
Oh, wow. On race lines?
I need to get me one of these real bad.
Yeah, you do.
Like real bad.
I know I've got 2 or 3 or maybe more trucks at home. How many you got now?
I got 2. One runs, though.
What's going on, man? How are you doing, man? Good, man. Good.
This is kind of a big family reunion. It's about hanging out with guys that think the same way that you do, that live their life the same way. Hey, this looks like a good place to take a nap, dude.
Remember that?
That looks familiar.
Yeah, I've seen one like this. Different color.
Looks like someone else has been cooking up a nice little 49 Chevy.
Yeah, there's all laid out, too. It looks good.
Oh, man, this makes me tired looking at it. This brings back memories.
So here we go. This is what I was talking to you on the phone.
Man, whew, that black is nice.
This thing is stellar.
Wow.
And I mean, when I say stellar, we started with kind of an average farm truck find and toured all the way down.
Wow, yeah.
Just got the debut award down at the Throwdown. So thanks to Aaron and all the guys, the truck really stood tall down at Lone Star Throwdown. Now it's time to cash in on all that positive energy. I mean, took a lot of money to get this truck to look like it does now, and it's time to pay the piper, and that's me. This one is 100% every nut and bolt brand new.
Frame off?
No, new frame. Took it all the way down to the bare metal. I mean, it's straight. I know I've got one thing going for me right off the bat, and that is his client is shopping for a certain color, and we delivered that in spades.
Wow, the black just shine. It's unbelievable. The paint is phenomenal.
Mike Coy did a phenomenal job on it. Let's take it for a ride. You know, I got a 100% sales rate right now when I bring the kids along in the car.
Man, it sounds good. The suspension is unbelievable. It rides great at 2 inches off the ground. It also rides great at 7 inches off the ground. Oh, nice.
Looks like I'm gonna get some of Daddy's money. What do you think about that, little Chris?
I love it.
Rad. I only dished out $2,000 to buy the original truck, but we sank another 65 grand into it along the way. It's in a whole different league now. My guy stepped it up for this one. I think it speaks to what we can do here at Gas Monkey for sure. I'd like to make about double what we put into it. So if he's willing to get to my number, I'll sell it. You gotta give me the first offer. I'm not gonna try to cut my own throat.
I could offer you $110,000.
That's not even
just
close.
Just as easy as the last one.
Not even close. You're gonna have to step way up. I mean, I'm thinking this truck's worth around 175 grand.
It's not that cool of a truck.
Who asked you anyways?
That's my negotiator there.
So the kid's talking to a little lip, and I'm like, you don't even have a driver's license, dude. Get out of here.
Let's do $135,000.
That's
no close to where you're at.
I'm not even moved off 175 yet. I mean, this is probably the #1 best, most perfect 1949 Chevrolet truck in the world. I don't need to dump this truck off, and I don't need to pass it off for cheap.
All right, 145.
No.
Come on.
I'll go 150, and that's it.
That's a lot of money, but this truck is perfect. It's exactly what we need. All right, 150.
Deal.
Thank you,
What do you think about that, dude?
I think it's a good deal.
All right, works for me. Let's go do some paperwork. This really sucks, dude. We're in San Diego for, what, 4 hours?
Nothing in San Diego sucks.
No, only getting to be here for 4 hours.
Sure, but it's better than not being in San Diego for 4 hours.
While Aaron's mind might be California dreaming, I'm thinking ahead to the big Barrett Jackson coming up. It's the new one on the East Coast, and it's gonna get a lot of eyeballs on it. So I've got my eye open for the right car to build, take to the auction, and make a big splash and a ton of cash. I'm hoping this is the one. This is a 72 Pantera. What caught my eye on it is that it was white with white wheels.
That's pretty cool. It's kind of a Miami Vice feel to it.
You just also don't see very many white cars.
I don't think that I've ever seen a white Pantera.
Looks like that under the cover. This one actually found me. The lady who had it sent me some pictures, and her husband owned the Pantera for a really long time, and he's since passed away, and it's time for her to sell her husband's old car. Hey, Sandy. We spoke on the phone. I'm Richard Rawlings.
Yes. Hi, gentlemen. I'm Sandy. I am Sandy Saska. I am the owner of the 1972 Ford Pantera. Since 1975, since we've lived in this house, I've been never able to park any of my cars in the garage.
Very cool.
So I thought, what great opportunity to get the car sold. I'd be able to park my car in the garage.
You know how many owners it had before you guys? Or?
I think just one before.
Killer. Really nice car. So did you guys drive it, a whole lot or just every once in a while?
We take it out on the weekends, a couple times during the week.
Little what we call whiskey dent in Texas.
Yeah, something happened there.
One of the coolest things about the Pantera is that something that's kind of missing from the Ford lineup is when they didn't have a supercar. So when these cars were built, and this one in '72, this was an exciting car. It still is.
If you wanted to buy a supercar in the early '70s, but you didn't want to break the bank, you couldn't do better than a De Tomaso Pantera. It had a lot of standard features that were just options on the Ferraris and Lamborghinis, and powered it all with a 5.8-liter Ford 351. And that meant you couldn't just afford the car, you could also afford the mechanic. Killer. They're not super hard to find, but people tend to hold on to them. It's a lot of cool and a lot of hot rod for the money. They're neat cars, and we've had a lot of them float through the shop. I don't know, probably a dozen. And for whatever reasons, things just never got lined up right to hot rod a Pantera. This one could change all that. It looks like it's in great shape. Well, you think it'll start?
Yes, let's start this up.
With some ease, too. You take it for a ride?
Absolutely.
Jump in, Aaron. Let's go around the block. Be back in a little while.
All righty.
Maybe.
Enjoy.
My heart is racing.
Feels tight. Yeah. It's not all rattly.
It feels good. It sounds good. I think this definitely runs a little better than the last few we've had.
I think it runs better than anyone we've had. The tires are definitely old. Because that thing...
Damn good little car.
It is, man.
I always love Panteras, not because of what they are, but what they could be. So every time we buy one, I always think maybe it's the time we build one. A dozen or so Panteras later, the time is now. We need to hot rod this one.
I gotta agree with Aaron. This Pantera could be built into a car that bidders just go crazy for at Barrett Jackson. Plus, starting with a solid car, the build should go that much faster. You just have to get it at the right price. Super cool. If we get this thing under 30 grand, golden. All right, under 30, under 30.
We started the negotiations for the car. Naturally, I had my price in mind.
What do you want for it?
Let's start at 37.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. She started at 37 grand, which is on the high end of what this car might be worth if a few things were fixed. I'm thinking more like 25 grand.
Richard came back down with a very low 25,000. No, let's do a little bit better than that, please.
I've had a lot of these cars, so 27.5.
The garage space is important to me, but I think we can do a little bit better than that, please.
If I step up much more than that, it'll be the most I've ever paid for a stock one. But she wanted her garage space. She wanted to be able to park in the garage for the first time since 1975. I'll throw another grand at it because then when I pay the money to get it to Dallas, I'll be in it at 30 grand, which is pushing the envelope for these cars. So 28.5.
That sounds fabulous.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I get a Pantera and you get garage space.
I certainly do. This is exciting.
It's a decent deal for Gas Monkey. I didn't exactly, you know, run off with the best deal in the world, but get it back to Dallas and see what we can turn it into.
If y'all are ready, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna get my toolbox. I'm gonna get my toolbox.
I think this is one of the best cars we've had in to build. And so I'm pretty happy we're gonna get into it. You know, the one thing I don't know about Panteras, I don't know if the engine comes out the top or if it comes out the bottom. Does anyone have any idea?
I have no idea.
Does anyone have a book?
Rack it and find out. So we get this lid off here.
So we've had a bunch of junky Panteras, and the more we've had, the more my curiosity grew. You know what I can do with one of these?
Wow. God, these wheels don't weigh anything, man.
This 72 is in fine shape. It's a good, solid platform to start with, and so this is the time to find out if curiosity can kill this cat.
Hey, look, it comes with tools.
I've always had a soft spot for these things.
There she is.
Mid-engine, rear-wheel drive, and not to mention 1972. This is pretty freaking wild.
Hey.
The EcoBoost swap into the Pantera has never been done before. How difficult will it be? Well, I don't know yet, because to build something truly unique, you have to blaze new trails, and sometimes that means answering questions that haven't been asked yet. We've got a big jigsaw puzzle, and one big problem is we don't have an EcoBoost here.
You must hold the cable off?
John and I were looking around, and they kind of seem available, but not really sure. Possibility we may have to yank one out of a pickup to get the twin-turbo 3.5.
Oh, and they just hit you flush. You really need to go back to painting.
Bedtime, dude.
The 3.5-liter EcoBoost will be lighter, which means the car could be faster, which means it's going to turn harder, stop harder. Pretty cool.
Mike?
Hey, would you give me a 9/16 wrench out of the top drawer?
Oh, you asshole. Really, Mike?
Holy crap, that's a lot of wrenches. Ooh!
This didn't take long.
Getting the motor out might be a little interesting.
Yeah, looks like it. So I've been doing some digging around. Found a guy that has one for sale, and he's willing to come down to the shop and let us take a look at it at least.
If you'll come by today, tell him to get in the truck and head on.
All right, I'll call him right now.
Thanks.
The good news is John found a 3.5 EcoBoost motor. The bad news is that it's in a 2013 long bed F-150. But if that's the quickest way to get our paws on it and start modifying it, well, then so be it.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get this out of here without fucking something up. I wouldn't mind throwing a strap on the back to balance it.
Still like it? That's so awesome to pull the motor out of the wrong end of the car.
Holy cow, what are you doing here?
Heard you had my dad's car.
Chip Foose just walked in here. Christy?
How are you?
I'm Christy.
So I look up, and there's a living legend. I mean, Chip Foose, his dad, Sam Foose. I mean, these guys were car customizers forever. So to have him walking in my office is pretty damn cool.
How are you?
Holy cow. So you really just jumped a plane and came down?
Yeah, is it here?
Yeah, it's
I
right
haven't
here.
seen this car since 1975.
Did you bring some money?
Maybe.
As far as I'm concerned, the reason I'm sitting here talking to you is because a long time ago on overhauling, Chip gave me and Aaron a shot. We were on the show a few times, and he's the reason I'm here. And it turns out that Chip found out I have his dad's car. I guess everybody just lost track of it. Well, I found it in Florida, and I bought it.
Oh, wow.
So your dad built this when?
1975, he finished it.
And it's 72 Pantera, right?
Yes. Oh, that is so cool. That's still the original tires that were on it.
Really?
Richard said that he had bought this car and heard that my father had built it. I told him yes, exactly the way he finished it. I told him if he's gonna sell it, I wanna own it. I'm here today so we can make this happen. Diacosa is what the name was.
Uh-huh.
The original owner, he was Greek, and Diacosa in Greek is 200. That's why it says Diacosa 200. My father built the Diacosa in 1975.
Look at that, dude.
My father's my hero. I want to own anything that my father did.
Check it out, dude.
And my goal is to buy this car from Richard. I want to actually clean it up and give it back to my dad, because I'll get it back from him one day. I'm Chip Foose, Foose Design here in Huntington Beach. This is my shop. Well, I went down to Gas Monkey Garage and I took a look at my dad's Pantera that he had customized and let Richard know that I really wanted it. 1975, he finished it. He wasn't sure whether he wanted to maybe trade me something or get some cash for the car, so he's bringing the car here to Southern California. Hopefully today, that Pantera will be mine. Today will be the first time my father's seen the car since it left his shop.
I don't think they saw us pull it off the trailer. This should knock his socks off.
They're here.
Where in the hell did you find this?
Well, sir, I found it down in Florida. How you been? Long time no see.
Really? When I walked out and first time I'd seen the car in 40 years, could not believe how good it looked. Either I did a hell of a good job on it, or the guy took really good care of it.
You know, you think about everything else on the road, you come be passing by in this, and they, oh my God.
It's a rocket ship then.
Yeah.
You know, I think the thing really went over everybody's head. They didn't understand the concept, you know? So how's it run?
It's here. Y'all find out.
I think my dad is in shock that the car is in such great shape, and can't wait to drive it with him.
Chip threw the old man in there and went for a joyride.
Burns rubber.
Yep.
Oh, that test drive was absolutely awesome. God damn. Whoops, excuse me.
We're going to look at some cars that Chip would possibly trade for the Diacosa. And right inside the door is one he made from scratch, the Hemisphere.
This was the prototype. There's 4 other ones.
Wow, that's too cool.
The frame and every piece of suspension, everything was designed just for this car.
So you don't wreck these?
No.
And right next to it is a customized Ford GT. Is this your GT?
That's mine. I cut the frame extensions and got rid of the bumper in the rear, and then I made the wheels to be reminiscent of the original GT40 race wheels.
All right, let's go look at some hot rods. What do you got?
And then Chip took us into the shop to show off a one-of-a-kind build that started off life as a 32 Ford.
This is a fun car.
The P-32 is a personal project of Chip's that pays homage to the World War II fighter, the P-51 Mustang.
It sounds like an airplane.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
And when that Lincoln Flathead V12 fires up, it's easy to imagine it flying.
Yeah, there you go. cool build all the way around, but definitely not in the trading dollar range of what we're talking about here. So far, all these cars are way more valuable than the Diacosta, but Chip promised to show me some cars that I could trade for. And he didn't hold back. Oh, yeah? What year's that, 42?
42, which is the rarest year.
Finally, Chip showed me something that was well within my trading range, and it's a pretty cool car, too. How many of these do they make?
Only a handful.
It's a 1942 Buick Super 8 convertible. I don't want Chip to know it, but I really gotta have this car. I know we're doing a friendly trade deal on his dad's Diacosta, but I'm gonna have to put on a negotiating hat and play it cool. But he's also got a whole lot of other cars that might be a better deal for me.
2015 Mustang.
And we can trade for this?
Yeah.
No kidding. And it comes with a guy that washes it.
Yeah.
Freaking rad. Now, what makes this Mustang pretty badass is most of the components on there are one-off Chip Foose built.
The hood scoop, the front lower chin, the side scoops. I also changed the grille.
Cool car. All the adaptation that Chip did to it is really, really badass. And on top of that, it's green and black, my two favorite colors. You tore this car all the way down and color changed it.
Yeah.
Golly.
And resurfaced the whole body.
But Chip still got one more car to show us.
I got a Zephyr in here for you.
A Zephyr? I like Zephyrs.
It's all modern Lincoln LS. Motor, transmission, and all the suspension. And it's airbag.
I like air sacs. I really dig Zephyrs, and this 41 is in great shape. New driveline, new paint, airbags, you name it. The wheels don't really suit it, but man, this is gonna be a hard choice. Can we take it for a ride?
Yeah.
I'm digging this so far. What do you think?
Open the door.
I think it's an interesting car.
Can we put the top down?
Probably. I've never put it down.
If you've never put it down, then I don't want to mess with it. Right on. It's freaking cool. So I checked out the Zephyr, and it's cool. I like that style of car, but it also is kind of dorky. It just needs to, you know, it needs actually a little bit of this guy on it for about a week, and it'd be a pretty rad car. Heck yeah. Let's drop it like it's hot.
It's not exactly my style. I'm not a big fan of that year Zephyr, like the early ones. But it does look like a car that has a lot of potential. It just has a little bit of ugly that needs to get knocked off of it. My bid's on the red one.
Oh, the Buick?
That's right.
So there's the Buick, the Mustang, and the Zephyr. I want them all. It's not every day, though, you can get a car from Chip Foose, so I'm trying to weigh out my options there. You know?
He really likes the Mustang, and he likes the 41 Zephyr. Which one he's gonna take? I don't know yet. You know this is a 4-cylinder, right?
It is?
4-cylinder with a hairdryer.
I think you just made up my mind. I'm going with that.
All right.
Let's do that. Cool, we got a deal. I think it was a really good trade. I think it was fair on both sides to make that trade and make it happen. Super cool. And it's a beautiful sunny day, as it always is in California, so I say we go hit the beach and get a fish taco and maybe a cold beer.
Man, let's get out. I need a Modelo. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. What's going on, sir?
Hey, Richard. How are you?
Hey, good to see you
again. My name is Mike Amader, and I'm from Monterey, California.
So you decided to sell it. You're moving to Reno?
Yeah.
From this beautiful place?
Well, yeah.
So tell me the story again, because I was trying to remember when I was telling Aaron what was going on. This belonged to, like, your friend's mom or grandma or something?
My friend's grandmother owned it. I'm the second owner, and I bought it in, like, 1981. It's a 1955 Chevrolet 210 two-door hardtop.
This was a 283 car with a 4-speed to begin with, or 283 automatic?
It was a 265 with an automatic. So now it's a 327 with the 4-speed. Transmission came out of a 67 Corvette that I wrecked.
Well, you got to use the parts for something. What color was it originally?
It was a light brown. I got a picture of it. You want to see it?
Heck yeah.
This is what it looked like in 1881.
When you bought it?
Yeah.
Really? That's a cool color combination there. It's kind of a taupe with white.
No kidding. So of Tri-5s, 55, 56, and 57 Chevrolets. I love 55s.
Let me put it to you this way. Trying to get away from their old man image, Chevy took a completely crazy risk and redesigned their full-size car line with the 1955 model year and up, including the mid-range 210. And it paid off. They were a huge hit with the public, and that same year, GM ended up being the first company in the world to earn over $1 billion in profit.
Yeah, what a pretty car.
It's already a great car if we can just get the attitude fixed. You know, the paint's kind of weird, the front seat's definitely weird, and obviously the wheels and altitude are you know, not our style. So if we can fix those things, we might end up with a really great car for a really low, you know, level of investment once we get back to the shop. So this is a great buy, I think.
Take it for a spin?
Yeah.
Cool. Go. I'll drive. You get in the back. So how many miles do you think you put on the car since 81 when you had it?
Oh, not a lot because it's parked most of the time.
Drives good, feels good. I'm 99% sure that this is the car for us, as long as it doesn't fall apart on the way back to Mike's house. And I'm ready to get a deal done, get it back to Dallas, get the guys hammering away on it, and take it to Barrett and make a tidy profit. Well, I dig it. So, you were telling me on the phone you wanted like 27, 28 grand for it. Where do we really sit?
Well, as close to that as possible.
Jeez. So I'm looking at the car, and I know what the car's probably worth retail, but obviously we've got to get a little back of that. And then Aaron and I had to come all the way out here to Monterey. And then I've got to get the car all the way back, not to mention mine and Aaron's flights back. So I've got some expense just in coming out here to make a decision. You add that in and where I've got to be, I mean, even before I walked up the driveway, I knew I had to be south at 25,000 bucks. I'm not at 27 grand. I was thinking more, probably 18.
Ooh, no, that's way too low. I got 20,000 just in parts alone in that car.
27 just put me too high. How about 20?
Can you go a little higher?
I feel like I'm bidding against myself. You hadn't come down yet. Golly. 22 and a half. It's a good car.
God, you're killing me.
I know, but I'm trying to get a good deal. You're moving, man. You're out of here. You don't need to take this thing with you.
All right.
Killer deal. Right on.
Good, man.
Appreciate it.
We settled on 22,500. I'm happy with it. Richard's happy, so we made a deal.
Let's get you paid and do some paperwork, and then I'll just have it shipped, obviously. I'm not going to drive it back. Settle at 22.5. That's perfect. I can get it back to Dallas, get me and Aaron back to Dallas, and get the guys rolling on Gas Monkey's first 55 Chevrolet.
You know, the thing is, like, I think it's such a sweet, such a nice little car. It just needs love. You know, some cars we get in here need to be gutted, but some cars, like this one, just need an aggressive image update. So to accomplish that, the first thing we're going to do is change the color of this Chevy. I'm not a fan of this color yellow, but there's a lot of it, so we're going to keep that. But we're going to make it a little meaner by repainting the white to black. It needs new wheels and tires, bigger brakes, new suspension, and a more modern interior. The engine runs fine, but it's really looking worn out, so we're going to pull it, paint it, and make it match our car's new appearance. This is going to save us both time and money, which is a great thing because the deadline for Barrett Jackson is only 2 weeks away. And any time that we can save on the big stuff is more time that we can devote to the small things. And Richard's only given us a budget of 15 grand to get it all done. I do think it's a cool car. I think it's a great car, and I can't wait to see it on the ground.
Well, y'all get it in and get started. I've done my part. I bought it.
Tell you want to drive it in for us?
Yeah, good thing about keeping the yellow paint.
I didn't ask you if I want to tell some more stuff and say you want to drive it for us?
I'm glad you came to help me.
I know, I haven't seen you forever. You've been over here all by yourself.
I know.
It's kind of quiet and nice over here. It's
I was
nice
gonna
and
say
cool.
it's lonely on the top, but.
Oh.
So today we're getting started on this 55 Chevy that Richard wants for Barrett Jackson. And this build's going a little different than all the other ones started out at. Where are we putting all this crap? We need a box or something, because I'll lose it. Usually, we tear the cars apart over in the garage. But since there's no real metal work or anything to be done, Aaron went ahead and said, why don't I take it first and get my part knocked out? So the first step is to carefully remove the trim. I mean, it is 60 years old, and it's hard to find.
Just yank it. I would, but you wedged it in my hand on this side. Or you can just do that.
And then start prepping this thing for paint. Sure, they tell me just spray the white parts black. They make it sound so easy. Finish the beard. But really, black is the hardest color to paint. It shows every little imperfection. Now, if Richard was a normal paying customer, I'd quote him 2 weeks for a black paint job like this, but we only have 2 weeks for the entire build. So I'm gonna have to bust my ass for the next couple days. If I pull off this miracle, it should be a pretty sweet ride.
Oh. Wow.
Black and jello?
It is black and jello. All right, what sports teams have these colors? Let's just get it out of the way now.
I don't know the name.
The Steelers?
So I got the black paint sprayed and wet sanded on the 55 we're building, but I'm still not done with the car. Richard didn't want me to touch the yellow, but that paint is kind of tired. It's, got scratches from people washing it, drying it, getting driven, stuff like that. Yellow cab? Thing is, he's not here right now. So I'm gonna take the day and give it a good buff and shine.
All right. Well, if you get it done, you need today to buff it. By tomorrow, we'll have the parts we need for the suspension, so I'll kick it to Jeremy just as soon as you're done. Get it out of your way.
I may need today and tomorrow to buff it, but
Okay.
I'll
Well,
try
do
to
what you
get it
gotta
done
do.
today.
Because obviously we want this thing to look tip-top for Barrett Jackson. But be careful, we do not have time to repaint it.
Okay. Well, yeah, let me get it done, and I'll get it over to you guys.
Okay, just holler. We'll come
All right.
get it. Thanks, Mike.
Cool. Thank y'all for pushing.
Hey, guys.
Is that Aaron?
Yeah. He wants to tell us about how hot dogs are made again.
No.
What? You didn't believe me the first time?
That was an hour-long conversation about how hot dogs are made.
Still made the same way.
Yes.
Seems like it's an older crowd up here. What do you think?
It's the Northeast, man. People are old up here. Here we are at the Barrett Jackson Northeast. We're up in Connecticut, believe it or not, but this is the first big sale that Barrett's had up here, and it is crazy. I've been to Barrett Jackson sales for going on, what, 20 years?
Yep.
This is madness. I mean, we got tents up, we got race cars going all around the outside of this place, people drinking beer, having a good time. This thing is massive. That whole hotel is sold out. There's more people here than you can count. Hopefully they brought their wallets. I need some money. And the GT should bring big money, but yeah, I'm in it right, so I mean, I guess if it gets anywhere, I need to sell it. You know me, win or lose, it's gonna be a party. So I got my buddies Prashant and Big Chris along for the ride.
What do you think about the Zephyr?
I don't know, that's a weird one, because it's a cool car, but it's not like my favorite car. My Zephyr was Chip Foose's car. I did a little horse trading with him because we found a car that his dad built back in the 70s. Heck yeah, let's drop it like it's hot. Figuring on what I spent to get his dad's car, I'm in for about 49 grand. So I'm pretty excited about that car. What it's gonna do, I don't know. It's rad, it's a 4.8 liter, all Lincoln Navigator underneath, air conditioned stereo, Bluetooth, air ride, you name it, bro hammer. This car's got it.
What is it, $100,000 build? How's it drive?
Drives great. So if this car does what it should do, 75, 100 grand, we're making some casheronis. Or at least I am.
Maybe we can take the day off.
Maybe you could buy us a jet to get home so we don't have to wait till 6 o'clock. Let's go sell some cars. I wanted the Pantera here, but thanks to the bearded blunder, I'm putting my GT up. But that's later on today. Going up first is the Zephyr.
Here comes lot 741. It's a 1941 Lincoln Zephyr custom convertible offered by Gas Monkey Garage.
This is kind of going to test the waters. I mean, let us know if there's real money in the room or not. It's going no reserve, so it's going to sell. Let it rip, Tater Chip.
If we can bill, 100, 100, 50, 50, 10, 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, 20, 30, 20, 30, now 40, 40, now 50, now 40, 50,000, 50, 40, 50, 5, 60, now 5, 60,000, 55, and 60.
A lot of modern upgrades to this, including the air ride suspension. In addition,
Bidding started out real good. It shot up right past 50 grand, and that's cool. Anything more now is money in my pocket.
incredible driver right here.
It's 62, now 52, now 60, now 2. It's 62, there you go. It's 65, now 65, coming to just 62, and 5, 65, and a half. So, $62,000.
62 G's of bank for my Zephyr. It's not 75 grand I wanted, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but you gotta realize it shows there's money in the room, good money, smart money. They knew a good deal and they bought it, so the rest of the day should be great.
Well, I hope the smart people are paying attention when Ford GT comes up because I'm gonna have like 300,000 smarts.
I think it'll work.
65 and a half.
I kind of told myself I wasn't gonna sell this car, but I guess it's time. So my GT40, I bought it slightly wrecked. We got it all built back, went black with it, bigger wheels, bigger brakes, faster motor, bigger horsepower, you name it. It is a better Ford GT.
I think this is without a doubt one of the best builds you've ever done, if not the best. Somebody will take a look at this car for what it is. God, it drives great, too.
It's a wicked.
It's one of the fastest cars to come out of the shop.
For sure, most definitely. This one breaks 350. I'm super happy, but it could do 400, 500.
You all right, brother? Here's where it all goes down, man. Woo! You ready? Start doing some of that dancing with your fingers.
See it, gotta do it,
There you go, there you go.
And it worked. All right, here we go. Now, what really makes me nervous about today is usually you go to a Barrett Jackson sale and you might see $1 million, $2 million, $3 million cars. I think $400,000 is the top of the market here at this sale, which is probably a good thing for them because it's their first time to do it. But my GT needs to bring 350. I don't know what's gonna happen. Now, Barrett Jackson auctions are normally all no reserve, but the select elite cars like my GT, they will allow a reserve. And thank goodness they do. I'm setting this one today at $300K for this baby.
A 2005 Ford GT custom built so big that it took 2 episodes.
I'm in the car for around $250,000. I need to see at least that much just to break even.
820, 130, 830 on a pay to get 40, I had to get 140, 50, I had to get 150 pound dollar, 150 on a pay to get 150, 60, 70, 200,000 down, I'm gonna get down to 200 pound dollar, 210, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20, I'm gonna get down to get 20, 220 on a pay to get 20, 15, 20, 220.
The bidding broke 200K, but they're just not coming in like they should. It's risky, but lifting the reserve might open up some wallets.
230, 40, I'm gonna get down to 240,000 down here, 240 pound dollar, I'm gonna get down
And I really thought I'd do 350.
What's going on, Barrett Jackson? How's everybody doing today? Wow! I tell you what, I do not want to sell this car. It's my personal car. It is wicked cool. It is a faster, leaner, meaner, lower, better braking Ford GT than you've ever seen. So, bid to win, we're gonna sell it. So, lift the reserve, Craig, and let her rip, Tater Chip. So yeah, I'm a little nervous. Lift the reserve, Craig, and let her rip, Tater Chip. Our Ford GT is on the block at Barrett Jackson Northeast. It's there because Kaufman didn't make the deadline to finish the Pantera. And I'm nervous because I got $250,000 in this GT and bidding just stalled at 230.
230 is bid.
So I pulled the reserve to give the bidding a boost. And now, he's sweating it out.
Better and be the new owner. Hey, 235 where? 235. 235 pound dollar down. I'm gonna get up 555. 235. Anybody else all through and a half? Sold. $230,000.
Lot number 644. This is a 1968 Pontiac GTO Ram Air 2 from the private stage now.
I just got my handed to me. I'm not in a good mood.
Well, that's all right. It's all right. He pulled the reserve at 230, which I don't disagree with. There were 3 bidders on it. I was talking to one of them. I thought it was a good move. I thought the car would have pushed up to 270, 280. It didn't. It fell flat at 230, so it was not a fail.
You should have made another 50, 60 grand. Well, at the end of the day, I know one thing for sure. That Pantera better shine like a diamond in a goat's. Okay, man, you ready?
Ready as I'm ever gonna be.
Let her rip, Tater Chip. Coast is clear.
Going hot.
Hey, sir, what are you doing?
Oh, I'd get in the other lane if I were you.
Sir, what are you doing?
I'd definitely move. So I'm out here in Justin, Texas, which actually isn't too far from the shop. It's about maybe 25, 30 miles. You better watch it, dude. This is my scene. I saw a guy had an ad for a 69 Riviera, and it looked like a pretty honest car. Black, red interior, bucket seats. It's pretty cool all the way around. So he said he had some other cars in the back and figured I'd just come out and take a look and see what he had. I mean, what the heck? Maybe I can find a couple more cars to bring to Barrett Jackson. Oh, hey, sir. That looks like a vicious miniature horse. Can I come back?
Sure.
Richard Rawlings, I talked to you on the phone?
Yeah, Glenn Stevens.
Glenn?
Donna
Stevens. Donna Stevens. Glenn and Donna.
I'm Glenn Stevens. This is my wife, Donna. and we live here in Justin, Texas.
I kind of glanced at the Rivian that we talked about, but you said you had a bunch more cars. I guess this is it?
Yeah. Over the years, one car and truck after another came into the backyard, and I do want my backyard back.
Well, we got a little El Camino, huh? It's got just a small block Chevy, or?
Yeah, it's 305.
So they were in the backyard, so I went on back there first, and it turns out he's got a 64 El Camino. Is that a three-legged dog? That's a three-legged dog with a black eye. He's got a 53 Buick. Have you had this one running and driving ever? Or just
No, it doesn't have an engine.
All right. A 52-ish Chevrolet with a big motor in it. Oh, somebody hot rodded it. It's got some rust problems. What do you got over there, a Nova? Well, what about this little truck? This is a little short bed, huh?
Yeah, it's an SS, a 90 model.
Is this a real SS?
Yeah.
But he's also got a real 454 SS Chevy truck from like the 1990. And those are not only pretty cool, but they're pretty rare these days. 454 SS truck, pretty rad, cool. And that's a good little truck to have. And then he's got a short bed Ford that I liked. What year is this?
61.
Got a good looking patina to it. Got a long bed Ford that I don't like because they're long beds. I saw, is there an ambulance over here?
Yeah.
And then he had an ambulance, which was pretty cool. What are you doing with an ambulance?
Oh, I used it for a work truck.
Work truck?
Yeah.
An ambulance? Were you an ambulance dude or what?
No, I'm a train rescue man. I service and repair overhead cranes, do different types of technology changes, doing, and just plain repairs.
So this is pretty cool. You know, what a lot of people don't know about me is I was a police officer and a firefighter and a paramedic before I was old enough to drink. So the ambulance was pretty cool because it's actually the make and model that I first drove when I was a lot younger and I was working for the fire department. So being in the back of that was kind of surreal. This is pretty much exactly what I remember. Hit the buttons on, stab him in the arm, give him some oxygen, good to go. I don't really need it, though. I have absolutely no use for it. Zero. I mean, what am I gonna turn it into, a party wagon? Looks like it might be big enough to carry my beer around, though. Well, I came here to look at the Riviera, so I might as well go out there and take a look at that, huh?
Yeah.
What's the scoop on this car, sir?
I bought it. It's been sitting for 15 years.
Gotcha.
It was brown. Everything was brown. Everything was falling apart inside.
Does this one run?
Needs a starter.
I love that shifter. That's rad.
Yeah, that arc.
So we go back out front, and I check out the Rivi. It doesn't run. He says it needs a starter. I mean, I don't think it's a good fit for Barrett Jackson, but it is a pretty straight, honest car. So if I can make a good deal on that, great. So what are you thinking you want for this one? This is what I came to see.
I'll take $6,000 for it.
I wanted it for around $2 or $3 grand, and that wasn't gonna work. So, you know, the other stuff that caught my eye was the 454 pickup and the El Camino and the other short bed pickup. So if I can get a good enough deal for all 9 cars and maybe get him throwing that horse, it'll work. We got 9 cars back there, right?
Yeah.
How about like $13,500 for all of them? You don't have to get them running, driving, nothing. I'll just yank them out and figure it out when I get them back to the shop.
I'll tell you what, if you want to take all of them, I'll take that $17,500.
If I come up to 14?
I don't know. What do you think about it?
I think 15.
15? She said 15.
15 grand. All right. Can you throw in the horse?
No.
Man, Aaron
Horse
would
don't
love
go.
that thing. Horse don't go, huh? We'll go with 15 grand. I'll take it. That's a deal.
All right.
All right, guys. So that's like 9 cars for 15 grand. I mean, if you're good at math like I am, that's probably $1,500 a car, roughly. I mean, I think that works. Maybe it's a little less than that. Maybe I'm not as good as math as I thought. Why don't I do this? I'll have Chris, my tow guy. He'll come out here and he'll just start yanking them out. I don't want you to have to do any work or anything. Just...
That'd be great.
I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming out. I got my car sold.
And I got my yard back.
So it's a great day.
Hey, if that horse kicks you again and you want to get rid of him, you tell me. I'll take him home to Aaron.
We can't get rid of Sheila.
What's up, Mater? Another Riviera. What year is this one?
I don't know. I'm not sure what year it is.
God dang.
It's not the same as our other one.
455.
That's about twice as ugly.
Oh, yeah. Riviera time. What's up?
I think Stevie Wonder wired this car.
Oh, I thought he went to the Charles School of Wiring.
Wow. Okay.
I'm just kidding, man.
All right.
All right, well, you hadn't heard the best part of the story. This guy calls me up, and he's got this Rivian he wants to sell, and he says he's got a bunch of other stuff laying around. So I went ahead and cruised out there real fast, because we built the Rivian a while back, and I was like, we know what that brought.
And 27,000 at once. And we're going to go twice. 27. So right there. $27,000.
So I get there. This thing's in the front, and it's what he said ran and drove a few years ago.
At one point, I'm sure it did.
Then in the backyard, he's got a 3-legged dog with a black eye and a miniature horse, which I begged the guy to sell to me so I could give it to Aaron. He looked like you, dude, because he was all woolly and crazy looking. So then he had an El Camino, a 53 Buick, a Nova, a big long bed truck, a short bed truck, an SS 454 truck that's actually in pretty decent shape except for the flaking of the paint that they all did,
bad clear.
and an ambulance. So I ended up making a deal for everything he had. So I bought 9 cars for 15 grand, which is what, like 1,200 a piece or something like that? So what I need you all to do is to get them all ready as soon as they come in, so I can quick get them up for sale, because Aaron's leaving for Pikes Peak soon.
All 9 of them?
Yeah. So, there you go.
Jeez. That's good. Man. This thing weighs a freaking ton, man.
I really wish Richard would start buying cars that run.
Especially when they're this big.
You know, I really appreciate Aaron making me daddy in the shop while he's gone, but you know, I have kids of my own, and seeing what all we got to get done this week, I think we might have been better off hiring a juggler. That is a lot of good old American steel right there. You know, you think as a mechanic, a lot of this job is, you know, building stuff. Man, the plug looks brand new. But really, it's about time management.
When you guys think about a hog, you probably picture a nice big cruiser with a large compression engine out ruling the road. But Harley-Davidson bikes have been the epitome of cool in America for almost 115 years now. And they've always come in a lot of shapes and sizes.
When America entered World War II in the 40s, Harley-Davidson got patriotic and churned out over 90,000 military versions of its WL model bike to be used for the war effort. The single-rider bike had a small 45 cubic inch flathead engine, so it wasn't that powerful, but it was incredibly reliable, which is exactly what a soldier needed.
Cross-country daredevils, they will get urgent war messages through, come hills or high water.
With GIs riding them all over Europe, they earned the nickname the Liberator and guaranteed Harley-Davidson a permanent place in every American's heart.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, flathead. What up? Wow. So when Aaron and Richard pull up with the Harley, man, I was stoked. I'm a bike guy, always have been a bike guy, always will be a bike guy.
It's a 42 WLA.
Sweet.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, I think it looks good wall art or good shop art or a good racing bike for that race that Aaron wants to take it to. What do you got planned for it, Aaron? What do you think?
Absolute and total abuse.
Aaron told me that he was thinking about taking this bike to the Race of Gentlemen, which is an awesome race. It's on the beach in New Jersey.
You know what they call the beach in New Jersey?
What? That's a weird question. Nobody knows what they call the beach in New Jersey. Hey, somebody look up what they call a beach in New Jersey.
They have a beach in New Jersey?
So the Race of Gentlemen's a beach race where we're basically drag racing right next to the water. And since the race is a vintage class race, you can only have period correct-ish parts on it. No disc brakes, no foot shift, no ratchet lid, no a lot of things.
Well, what am I gonna have to spend on that, dude? A couple grand?
It's like everything. It's going to be a lot of inexpensive parts that'll equal a lot of money.
Pretty much straightforward.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron's like, hey, I'm building a Harley. And I'm like, well, okay, Mr. Fancy Pants, you go build your Harley. But we got to remember 2 things. 1, we're already 9 grand into this thing. And 2, Aaron's on this unbelievable tight deadline that is so fucking unbelievable that you would never even comprehend how to even analyze the fact that time is moving so fast. So fast that there's not even time to put air in the tires. Just fuck it, we're gonna ride them on flats. All right, well, somebody help Aaron get it out so he can work on it, and then the rest of y'all do something else. Nothing left for me to do but have a cold beer. God, I'm good at this stuff.
So basically, I have 2 goals for this Harley. 1, get the bike in operational condition in a fashion that meets race requirements. And 2,
make it as fast as I can by losing as much unnecessary weight as possible. So to do both of these things, I'm going to strip the bike down and begin the process of determining which parts are usable and which parts are not. I'm hopeful that the engine's going to run, but I'm going to have to tear it down to make sure there's not any obvious issues. Regardless of what I find, I'm going to change some of the other equipment, including the wheels and tires. I'm going to put 18s on it, front and back, with the same tires front and back on it. Just balance the bike a little better. In terms of paint, I don't have to repaint the bike. The paint on the bike's actually in decent shape. It looks like it'll buff up nice. I'll also need to switch out the electric ignition for a Magneto, add something to sit on, and then hopefully 2 weeks from now, I'll be tearing down the beach in New Jersey. Air cleaner, floorboards, petcock, and then clutch pedal and cable seems to be fine. So we've got this 42 Harley in the shop, and we're under the gun on this one. The race I want to compete in is less than 2 weeks away, and the rules stipulate that the bike can't have any modern equipment on it. Everything has to have been built prior to 47 or reproductions of early speed equipment. So my first priority is to get a lot of parts ordered. Check and see if this thing has intake gaskets. I don't think it does.
What are you gonna do about exhaust?
You're pretty much looking at it.
All right.
And so the majority of this is basically getting pulled apart, checked for mechanical ability, and then if it's deemed unmechanical, repaired and reinstalled or tossed aside because it's unnecessary. Said they're not building this to go across town, not building to go across country. Said this is being built just to hammer, turn around, just come back, shut down. So the first part of the build, ew, icky, more icky. Taking the parts off that aren't going. So I've kind of desired to have an old Harley for a long, long time. There's one massive problem. Old Harleys, like a lot of old stuff, are really, really expensive. Okie dokie. 45s are the babies. They're the little ones. Obviously, they're less money, less power, less desirable, less everything. The one interesting thing is this particular model, we use these in war. We use this to further our agenda. We use this to save our lives, protect our lives, to cut, you know, on and on and on and on and on. This is a part of our heritage and our culture. So it's not that this is the greatest bike in the whole planet. It's just part of our culture, and that's the reason I wanted one. There it is. It's all she wrote and then some. Chuck, you almost done mounting the kill switch for the mag? I want to get the cylinder heads on.
Yep, just finishing up.
So we're closing in on the race in New Jersey really, really quickly. So right now, I just need to tie up a few last things on my list before I can get it off the lift and try and get it fired up.
Basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm wiring the mag. It's just a kill switch. This Harley needs to have parts that were appropriate for the 1940, but it also needs to be light enough for the race, so Aaron decided to remove the battery.
We done did away with it and stuff.
So basically what I'm doing is I'm running a line to the Magneto, which is basically a little generator with magnets that provides spark for the engine. It's simple, reliable, and it weighs a lot less than a big battery. And hopefully we can get this thing running sometime this afternoon.
We really need it to be running. Deadlines are real. All right, let's get this first cylinder on.
All right.
So last night, Charles and I worked pretty late. We got it all back together, fixing to drop the cylinders back on. We had a major valve issue, got it sorted out, got it cleaned up. Valves are sealing really well. The cylinder's completely put back together. I like that. I like that, man. So everything looks great. Appearance-wise, I think mechanically, I think it's gonna run great. I think it may make a little noise, but I think it's gonna run fine.
Let's go kick it around the parking lot a couple of times.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go kick it around a little bit. All right. My list today is awful short, so if in the next few hours we can get this thing to talk to us, that'd be great. All right, let's, guess we can get it on the ground. It's a little easier to go through the next process. The little bike that I've got, the 1942 45-inch WLA, is ready to go. Really, the only thing left to do is fire it up, tune it a bit, and then we're headed out tonight to the sparkling ocean waters of South Jersey. I don't have the time to do all the things that I'd like to do. In the future, would really like to make it much, much more of a hot rod, do some intake manifold, carburetor modifications, but with a short amount of time, I'm gonna be happy if it runs. You know, as far as taking a break from working on cars, I absolutely adore working on motorcycles. I really, really do. Chokes on, let's turn the fuel on. I do. I adore motorcycles. I love working on them. So taking a break from the cars is definitely a welcome opportunity.
It's my 37 ambulance, man.
Wow, this is cool.
So the panel wagon that we're building, I guess, is actually being built to carry the motorcycle to the race. So that's pretty cool. Because, I mean, if I had that panel truck, I'd be putting my bikes in it.
Sweet. Got a little small block in it.
Them seat covers.
I mean, it's a pretty decent little ride. What do you think, Aaron?
My WLA is such a small bike. It'll definitely fit back here. It's just really ugly. You know, if Richard wants to drive this thing 1,500 miles across country, what I'm concerned about is not breaking down along the way. And this panel truck, I think it'll be fine. It runs and drives. Yeah. I think it's really just make it look the part a little better.
You know, give it a facelift and wheel it up.
That's right. Wheels, tires, the junky bucket seat's got to go. Delete the windows, get some paint on it, and have Tanner come over and logo it. You know, big Gas Monkey part sales service underneath it. Pretty sweet.
I think it's a pretty cool street rod as it is. It needs to be jazzed up. It's kind of got a stupid look to it. But at the end of the day, it have this kind of retro feeling, you know, pre-war, badass Harley Davidson race bike with a panel van transporter. I think I hit, you know, marketing gold here.
I've got a Harley to build, and I've got enough work for myself, so this right here is really y'all, and I think y'all are definitely the team to knock it out pretty quick.
You're not putting me in that y'all, are you?
No.
Okay, I ain't in y'all. Y'all are y'all. So, y'all have 10 days.
Best of luck, guys.
I'm digging it.
37 panel truck, baby. I think it'll be a pretty cool transport vehicle. Unfortunately, we got a really short timeline on this. That's putting a lot of pressure on us.
Aaron's gonna be on the bike, but good news is that leaves all the other 6 of us to take care of the van. I've got a rack right there behind you. Actually, it's more like 5.5. See, Kiki's out of town, so Richard brought in this new guy, Tony, to give us a hand.
Don't look at that.
Hey, don't break our crap.
In order for Aaron to have this in time for New Jersey, we're gonna have to do our best to work out of each other's way, get it to Mike as soon as possible, get it back over here, build it, get the bike in it, end of story.
What the hell are you doing? It's your first day, dude.
So normally when we have a cracked case, typically we see them like up through the case side, and we would gut everything out of it. To save time, I'm simply not going to disassemble it. I may pull the clutch back, the clutch the rest of the way off, and I may pull the front cover off, but just to save time right now, I'm gonna weld this crack up. It's the only crack that's here. And so basically we've drilled the end of it to stop it. It extends down into the bottom of the stud that holds it on the bike. So we're gonna weld it, and then I'll retap the hole for the stud, and hopefully that'll stop it. We don't see any other major cracks, so we're gonna do a simple, quick, easy fix. There is a risk to the seals, but to be quite honest, they've been risked a long time. They're probably old and dry. So we're gonna go ahead and just try and fix it real quick. If it develops into a bigger situation, obviously we'll go ahead and tear everything down.
Being that it's aluminum, you have to heat the case. If you don't heat the case, it dissipates heat so fast. And you want to like isolate just that one spot when you weld it so it gets good penetration. So you don't want to just weld a crack on the top. You want to like drill into it or trench it out. So whenever you weld it and you go back and forth across it, you're actually filling it and you're putting material in there. That's why he's going to preheat it. And then there's a chance of cooking stuff inside of it because you got to preheat it. Well, he definitely has to do it right, or else it's might be putting a new case in it, so it's kind of crucial. It's an Aaron Kaufman job, for sure.
Ready? Yeah.
Well, we're coming in the final day of working on the 37 panel van. We're out of time. We still got to run all the wiring, get the wheels and tires on it, and then go through a systems check. So we have a lot of work to do. This is the last day. There's gonna be a lot of pressure today. Everybody's pretty fired up about it, but we got a lot to get done. So that's what we're dealing with. Set it, and then we'll just raise one side of it. It's good. All right. Woo. Yeah. Done. I wish it was that easy. So sometimes you can't even see the end vision of these vehicles, and as they come together, you even kind of have to step back and go, wow, we did that in such a short amount of time. You know, you're pretty impressed with what the whole crew does. So really excited about this thing. Today we need to wrap it up, and I think we can ultimately get that done.
Órale, Holmes, let's roll, is it? Huh? You gotta suck it up, man. Suck it up.
Is that it? Is that good?
Let's roll, is it?
Okay, man.
Órale.
So being that a bike is, you know, that size and really can only use one, maybe two guys working on it at a time, I've got a lot of other monkeys sitting around with nothing to do, and I figured, well, we're gonna have to have a little transport action for this WLA Harley-Davidson. So we scooped up this 37 panel wagon with the idea that it would be our Harley-Davidson hauler.
The real benefit of this one was that they already had a motor and transmission that didn't need to be replaced. The worst problem was the offense done to the body. That someone put windows in it, but they didn't get windows that fit the panels. They just kind of cut them in just randomly. And so that really wasn't gonna work for me. The other obvious thing was the entire truck was primered, and primer's not a paint. It's definitely not a paint job.
My paint's too good.
Part of the idea was I wanted something that was kind of indicative of what we might have had as a shop truck, and it had a hard 10 years, a hard 12 years or so. That's the reason for the faux-ing, the patina, is I wanted to have a beat-down old shop truck.
A panel van would typically be your shop vehicle, so obviously you want to put the big gas monkey on the side of it, let everyone know who you are. But, you know, it's also still just a panel van, so you can't dump a whole bunch of money into it because, let's be honest, there's not any $100,000 panel vans out there, not very many.
When it came to putting interior in our 37 panel delivery, we got with LeBaron and Bonnie, and we actually got some appropriate late 30s, early 40s material, the headliner, the carpet, and the seat material. So everything appeared as appropriate as we could make it. With 2 weeks to build a little Harley, I thought we could move through it pretty quickly, and I couldn't have been more wrong. From the word go, from the teardown, we realized that there were going to be some issues, but we checked them off one by one. It's cute,
All right, sir.
Sweet.
All the way from Austin, huh?
Yeah, all the way from Austin.
I love Austin. It's a good time, man. And here we go. 1970, first year of the Monte Carlo. So you guys remember that Monte Carlo I got out in Venice Beach for 22 grand? Well, I had Tony put it up on an online auction site looking to make $2,000 or $3,000 profit, but bidding stalled even before it reached 8 grand. The 400, you know, everything you saw on the internet.
Yeah.
That's when this guy Christian called. He saw that it wasn't really bidding where he thought it should be, and he thought he'd pay more. I said, well, come take a look at it, see what you think, and I'll pull it down and wait till you get here. Like I said, it's 400. Automatic.
Sweet. Yeah, this is actually a big block. It's listed as a 400 online, but it's definitely the big block 402. You can tell by the heat shroud and the engine
great.
itself.
Tony
It's
Taylor.
the other thing, too, which is friggin' awesome, it's got the light monitoring system. This is like a super rare option they only offered in 70, which is really cool. So stoked about that.
Turns out this guy knows everything about Monte Carlo's date codes, you know, the lights and the this and the that. He knew why Tony was an idiot for listing it with a 400 big block in it instead of the 402, which should have made it worth more money.
Has original 8-track player, pretty unique for that year. It actually has the gauge package, too, which is great. So it's got the tack, which is awesome.
I mean, who is this guy? Like the Dennis of Monte Carlos? Is this his holy grail?
It's got the right wheels.
Let's go take it for a ride. So at this point, I'm thinking things are looking up. But what do you think? I mean, the car drives good, huh?
Yeah, I think it feels great. It's got some pickup, which is good.
I mean, it's pretty clear I overpaid for the car, and I'm never gonna get the number I wanted.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's also clear this guy wants to take it home really bad. Well, there you go. All I gotta do is get him to overpay for it, too. Let's get it sold. So what do you think about this $30,000 ride?
Yeah, I don't know about 30. I'm probably at about 8.
Come on. Yeah, it turns out it wasn't his holy grail because he's trying to buy it for 8 G's. I mean, I could have made that at the online auction and done something else with my afternoon.
Yeah.
15 grand? I'm losing there.
Yeah.
And I don't like to lose.
Best and final, 12.5.
Here's the thing, this guy digs Monte Carlos more than anyone I know. If he's not gonna pay more than 12.5 for this, then no one is. You're standing here, I'll take it.
All right, dude. I feel like I got a good price. He got what he wanted to get out of it, or he actually didn't get what he wanted to get out of it, but it was good for me.
I just lost my ass. You might have got me the best this whole year. Let's go do some paperwork. I lost 10 grand. But you make your money when you buy, and if you're gonna lose, get off of it. I mean, lose it now. Lose it before you get attached to it, lose it before you touch it. It's pretty easy. Done it a lot. The monkeys hate my 4x4. I just took a $10,000 hit. I'm gonna need a lot of beers. Can we blame this on Tony somehow?
All right. You ready to put this in? Slide it on in. A little more. Right there. Surprise, surprise, our 4x4 Camaro is still ahead of schedule. At this point, we've got the whole harness in the car. Gauges are wired, they're installed. These are aftermarket gauges, made to look factory.
Some sharp shit, dude. We got a carpet kit installed, so we can finally drop in the seats.
We're getting close, though.
There we go. Game on. The camo wrap guys are already tackling the hood, but this carnival ride we're calling a car is still missing a pretty important element. It's big.
Oh my God, that is a lot of wheel and tire.
This will take two of his cradle out. Ready?
Oh my God! Good God, man.
There's one.
You see, AK wanted to give this thing kind of an urban attack feel, so he went with the tall, skinny-ish tires that the military uses on their MRAP vehicles. Once you factor in the wheels AK picked out, each unit comes in at a minimum maybe 200 pounds.
How do you do this? There's no way I'm picking that up.
Come on, Mike. Be a man.
First thing we realize is we're not really in shape for this type of work.
Just gonna walk it in.
God dang.
Well done. There's only about 400 holes in the wheel.
Did you get yours, Mike? Fuck no. I got a Charles on it. Yeah.
Go pick up the back.
One more. Right there.
You know what? I actually like it. It's a huge improvement from what it was.
Yeah, let's go Camaro up on big, big money.
Best of both worlds, man. Look at that.
Call me crazy, but these are a lot closer to the fenders. Like right now, we can't turn it right now. The ones that were on it, they might have said 44, but tires are bigger than the old ones.
I have to go higher. Higher.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make some modifications. It looks like we may have some clearance issues. Now, one solution for this problem would be to completely redo the wheel wells on it. But this stupid car is just not worth the extra time or money it would take. So instead, I think what we're gonna do is lift the back of the car about an inch, add some bump stops, and that should more or less take care of the problem.
To do any more would be just a waste of a lot of good parts.
Not a waste if we could just have some fun in it.
For sure. That's possible.
Yeah.
For what it is, it's not like it looks bad. It doesn't look bad. It's just
nothing like it did when it came in.
Dumb.
Oh, no, it looks cool. It just couldn't be any more stupid.
Yeah, I agree.
So, how about it? What do you think of this build now?
Oh, all right, so when this came in, this was completely deadly and couldn't go down the road. I have every faith that this is, by and large, a very drivable vehicle now, and it looks cool. So I think it's a win, but we haven't even started it, so we still got a lot of work ahead of us.
Okay, Aaron, put on that beard the grandma sent you. Chrissy, Richard, keep smiling for the camera. Oh, look, Sue, he's giving it to you.
That was terrible. My God. All right, let's do presents. Christy, you go first. Hope you like it.
Let her rip, Tater Chip.
Brad, I've always wanted a drill. Thanks, Christy.
Here, do my next. It's way better.
Okay.
Woo! Get you some of that.
I don't get it. Is it a car or a truck?
It's a car and a truck. Isn't it awesome? It's dumb. What are you talking about, Sue? It's the coolest thing ever.
Where would you even put the body mount?
I don't know, underneath somewhere.
And what kind of transfer case is that? Because a Camaro SS350 will throw out way too much power. You know what? Forget it. I knew you couldn't understand how cool this is. I'm late for my hairdresser anyway. Gotta freshen up my highlights. Later, losers. So who won cake?
Gobble, gobble.
So, for those of you who don't think there's enough American ingenuity out there, I present a 67 Camaro on a K5 Blazer chassis. When I bought this, we had just come off a couple of really hard builds. And I figured, why not get the guy something to be a cool, fun toy?
Oh, boy.
I was promptly made fun of.
Take it back. Yeah, please.
Best laid plans. No good deed goes unpunished. See y'all later. Gave the guys 10 grand in 2 weeks to build me something I can sell for a profit. And, oh yeah, this. Whoa, is that an old Torino station wagon? I must be in the right place. So today I'm back in the beautiful country outside of Memphis, Tennessee to check out an interesting idea for our next big build. Hey, guys.
Hey. How are you?
Paul, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. Good to meet you.
Mary.
Hey, Mary.
Nice to meet you.
So, you know what I came to see? Where are you hiding it?
In the barn.
You see, Aaron and I have been throwing some pretty complicated stuff at the monkeys for the past couple of builds. Now, the results are awesome, but the long hours almost killed them. And nobody likes a dead monkey. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to throw something fun and maybe a little unexpected at the guys, you know, give them a little mental break?
You're gonna love this thing, then.
This is different for sure.
Then I got wind that these nice folks were looking to unload this.
It was built 25 years ago in Arkansas. 67 Camaro, 4-wheel drive.
That's as crazy it was in the pictures. That is so cool. That's right. He's got a 67 Camaro 4x4. Now, I know they didn't make those, so don't freak out. It's a 1980s K5 Blazer chassis. It's had a 67 Camaro crammed on it about 25 or 30 years ago. Now, is it normal for somebody to put a Camaro body, especially a 67 Camaro body, on top of a K5 Blazer? In some parts of the world, yes, it's highly normal. America's car freaks have been letting their imaginations run wild pretty much since the beginning. If they could dream it, they'd build it. So no surprise when four-wheel drive technology became available, hot rodders took their creativity to new heights and created a kind of southern mash you can't drink.
It was a 327 car. They just put a big block 454 in it.
So they just set it up there.
Set it up there.
It is funny.
Yeah.
They even put in a pop-top sunroof. So I'm checking out the car. I'm looking at how it was constructed. So they just set the body right on there. No big deal. Very cool. From what I understand, typically melding muscle car and 4x4, it's usually pretty much a hack job. So how'd you get it?
Guy told me about the car. Wasn't far in Arkansas. I figured, hey, cool old car.
Why not? You're just looking to flip it, right?
Yeah.
So it runs, drives?
It does run. It does run and drive. You want to take a spin?
Why not? It is funny.
Oh, it is.
So I was looking for something a little bit off the beaten path. This is definitely it. And it goes off the beaten path. Where can I go? Anywhere?
Anywhere, yeah.
It's got some clanking noise. It's a little rough, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. Where's the wet stuff?
Yeah, might be muddy, real muddy right there.
Woo! Uh-oh, we're blowing smoke.
That might be off the road.
Woo!
Might be a transmission hose or something.
Yeah, or something.
Richard ran it a little hard out there. I think a transmission line blew or something, but...
He had fun.
He had fun, and it's repairable.
What a trip, dude.
Ooh, yeah. That's fun.
Well, it's all right. It could use a little help.
Yep.
So how much is this $5,000 Camaro?
More than 5,000. 12,000.
I mean, it's cool and all, but it's not very sellable. He says he wants 12 grand for it. Is it worth that? To tell you the truth, I don't know. To figure out a good price point on a car, there needs to be a lot of them on the market. But a 67 4x4 Camaro, those are rarer than hen's teeth. I don't know, maybe 7,500?
Couldn't do that.
Jeez. Come on, man. The only reason I even want this car is so the monkeys can have a little bit of fun with this whole, well, I don't know, backwoods ingenuity. But I still want to sell it eventually, and I'd like to make some money on it. It's gonna need tires. It's gonna need a lot of stuff.
How about 10?
Oh, man. I mean, I just want it because it's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to be nice, but I'm not sure how much nice should cost. Price of fun, man.
Yep, yep.
So here's the deal. Is it the best 4x4 out there? No. Is it the coolest Camaro out there? No. Is it the best mix of those two I've seen in a long time? Most definitely. I'm gonna do it. 10 grand, I'll take it.
10 grand it is. 10 grand.
Cool, man.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, you know, cash talks.
I think that's all I brought. There you go. Settled at 10 grand. I don't think that's a bad deal. I think it'll be pretty fun to have around the shop. Let's go do some paperwork. Give me a title and get me back to Dallas. You know, when I was a kid, I used to dream about crazy cool cars like this. So I can't wait to get it into the garage and let the fun begin. I gotta say, so far this being nice experiment, it's not too bad.
Oh my God. Wow. What is that?
I'm out of words.
What the hell?
Woo! Ta-da!
Oh boy. You've
Get
done it
some
this
of that.
time.
It actually came from Tennessee.
Take it back.
Yeah, please.
What are you talking about? 67 Camaro on a 4x4 K5 chassis?
Somebody went to a Mad Max movie and they went car shopping.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Woo! These are not the happy faces I was anticipating. Seriously, though, how come you guys can't get into this?
Well, it's different. Yeah, it's different, you know.
That's accurate. Yeah, it is we love a good joke.
Well, now we're gonna build it, so that's the joke.
Oh, no.
And you're gonna have a good time doing it. Can't we just jazz it up a little bit and make it something fun?
A Camaro on a
Yeah.
Blazer chassis.
67 Camaro.
Come on. It would look right at home in Coy's yard.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Y'all check it out. It's got a 454. It did run until I broke it.
Is there moonshine in the trunk, too?
What do I think about the Camaro? If it was this big and I could play with it in the sandbox, it'd be great.
It actually would be cool then.
Man, something must have died in there.
Hey, turn the steering wheel. That looks funny. That looks like that's not supposed to be there.
Yeah. Everything from here down is wrong. I'm not sure that everything from there up is right either.
Seriously, you rode in this thing, Richard? You're a braver man than me.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hope you're not in it too deep.
10,000 bucks.
Well, that's not too bad.
I could get
Yeah, the
65, 7,500 for the
honestly,
body.
Yeah, the body. is
But
worth
that's
it.
not the point. I'm just saying, why can't we just have some fun, build a little bit more modern version of this, clean it up, beef up the suspension, clean the interior, throw a roof rack on it, and somebody will have to have it for 20 grand.
Well, your first $30 going to mullet wigs for all of us to wear while we're working on it.
absolutely.
I think that's enough. I got news for these guys. I wanted them to have fun with this build, and they're gonna have fun with this build, whether they like it or not. All right, well, here's the deal. This is what I want you guys to do next. I don't want to spend more than 10 grand on it because it's only gonna bring 20 to 30. I'm done with my part. See y'all later. Oh, and you better do a good job because I'm taking you all out off-road when it's done, and you're going whether you want to or not because that's a nice thing to do, you fuckers.
It's disappointing.
Very.
So I'm saying, in some part of the world, this is a thing.
Yeah, apparently ours.
Well, yeehaw. I guess let's get it on. So it appears Richard has tapped into a hitherto unknown vein of generosity and gifted my crew with a build design to give them a nice change of pace.
What a piece of shit.
Woo. Yeah. Yes. Since we can't give it back, there's no direction to go but forward. So how do you knock the crazy off a 67 Camaro body grafted onto a K5 Blazer frame? Well, first well, hell, I don't even know. I mean, we definitely got to do something about those squatty, ugly, dry-rotted tires.
So we came out to Phoenix today, which is usually one of my favorite places, but it's like 187 degrees and it's miserable hot. I mean, horrible. Well, at least I'm in here and not out there. This is pretty good. I must be moving up in the world. I get to get chauffeured around now to go buy cars.
Monkey chauffeur.
The only reason we're enduring this heat is that I was poking around on the internet the other day and clicked on a particular vehicle for sale that both Aaron and I have been wanting to build for a long time.
Is that right here? That's cream puff sitting outside.
Look at that with those wire hubcaps.
I got dibs
That
on
is
those.
what I'm talking about. Kick ass.
I love it.
Oh, man.
El Camino.
Sit tight, America. In just seconds, we're going to show you a truck we think is truly amazing. The 1980 Chevy El Camino.
Since they first popped on the scene in 1959, Americans have both loved and laughed at Chevy El Caminos. Chevy called it a truck, but it was actually based on a station wagon wheelbase, so it's a little bit of both or some of neither.
My parents actually had a 1980, but by then they were much smaller, much more square, and much less brawn under the hood.
They're kind of weird, but I've kind of got a soft spot in my heart for them. Pretty slick.
If this one's in good shape, it could be a lot of fun to play around with.
Teens?
What's up, guys?
Hey,
What's
sir.
going on, man?
Richard Rawlings.
Calvin.
Calvin, how you doing?
Calvin. Pleasure.
Aaron, nice to meet you.
Nice
How
to
you doing?
meet
I'm Charles. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
So, your dad bought this new?
Brand new, right off the lot.
Rad.
1980, Portland, Oregon. When he passed away 9 years ago, I took possession of it, and it's been here in Phoenix, Arizona ever since.
That's OG right there.
Was this velvet?
At first glance, it seemed to be in pretty good shape, especially considering it's over 35 years old. But we did know going into it that it had an older repaint on it. One thing that I'm always leery of is like a cheap paint job maybe hiding a lot of damage or Bondo. Was there any body damage when it got painted or just get baked off?
No, it just got baked off.
Open the hood. What motor's in?
It's probably hot.
Yeah, watch her. Yeah. This here is 305.
Huh? So that's probably a whopping 182 horsepower, isn't it?
On the day it was born. Definitely ain't that now.
I would say more like 80.
Can I take it for a test drive?
Sure.
Yeah. The key's hot.
Wait for me.
Did I mention it's about 187 degrees? Ow! Miserable hot.
Well, obviously we're gonna have to fix that problem.
Yeah, it's really like more of a cruiser.
Look at that power. Not cruising in the El Camino.
Traffic circle coming up. Want to do it?
Oh, yeah. Let her rip, tater chip.
Go, 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 go. Come on, come on.
I tried to do a burnout, sling it around the corner.
Go, go. Oh.
Not happening. Those 14s, they were sticking to the ground. Probably because it's so damn hot here. Like 187 degrees right now. Come on, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's about all it had. That definitely failed the Richard burnout test.
I don't care. I've always loved these G-bodies.
Charles is right. The cool thing about these cars is they're built on the same G-body platform as the Chevy sedans, like the Malibu and the Monte Carlo, which means there's a ton of aftermarket parts for them. Rad. You can't go wrong with a car like this. Awesome, man. Well, I guess it is what you said it is, so how much you want for it?
I'd like 10 grand for it, Richard. I think she's worth it.
God, man.
10 grand.
$10,000?
Mm-hmm. I would like to sell one of these for 10 grand. So no surprise, he throws out a pretty big number for a car like this, even in good condition. So 10, I'm not going there.
I know.
And this is broken.
No. Hit me with a price, Richard. What do you think?
I was thinking about 6,500 bucks.
65?
6,500.
I can't do it, man. How about 9, Richard?
Yeah, you're getting there, but I'm thinking 7.
Still a little low.
It's so damn hot here. Can't even think.
Let's get it over with.
What is it, like 187
Let's just
degrees?
shake on 8.
8? All right, we're shaking. We own it.
Like your style.
8 grand. I think it's fair for the car. I would like to have gotten it a little bit cheaper, but it's a good car to start with. Yank out that anemic motor, throw something big and badass in, scare women and children, we're good to go. Let's do some paperwork. You got cold beer in the fridge?
Right this way.
Hey, I think you're gonna have to pass. You got a long way to get that thing back to Dallas.
Hope you got your AAA card.
Really like this car. Growing up, man, it was one of the cars that I always wanted to build. I'm gonna put my own little touch on it on the way home. The El Camino is now El Camino.
You gotta be kidding me. No AC?
A 1,000 miles with no AC in the summer.
You all right? Sweet. You made it back from Arizona, huh?
Man, I would have had the windows down.
That window doesn't work.
You want some water?
Yeah.
Well, here. Have some.
Well, you need to get up and work now. You already did the easy part. You drove here. I mean, you give a guy what amounts to practically a paid vacation driving through the uncharted paths of our great country, and what do you get? Just complain, complain, complain.
Wow, it's really starting to come down out there.
Who cares about that? I want to know what you think about my El Camino.
An El Camino, what does that mean? Is that like a different model?
It's Charles Camino.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I don't know. El Caminos are like kind of a weird thing. Somebody who has an El Camino, you're not real sure about it. It's like people who own vans with no windows. It's kind of a different type of person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really big on El Caminos, never restored or rebuilt one, but it's kind of a cool car. It's clean.
Earthquake test. Whoa! Suspension needs a little work.
That doesn't sound super well.
Well, the motor's definitely nothing I'd write home about.
Yeah, it's pretty much worthless.
It's got an awful lot of shiny stuff on it.
So what are we gonna do with it? Charles wants to name it El Camino and take it home. I want to paint it like a lowrider.
I just don't want it.
What about you, sir?
I want to say go fast.
Heck yeah. Gas monkeyed up.
So what are we gonna do with it?
Let me ask you a crazy question. What do we do with all of them?
Make them cool.
So here's the plan for our little shady 80 El Camino. Basically, it's not really a car and it's not really a truck, but what we're gonna do is make it so sexy and so fast that it'll stick a smile on your face and keep it plastered there for a long, long time.
The first step will be to lower the altitude and raise the performance, which will yield a ton more attitude. We'll slam it down and motivate it with a mass black label LS3 engine coupled to a T56 that should produce about 630 horsepower. Once we increase the rubber presence substantially, add some big brakes to stop all that power and update the gauges and upholstery, this car will have a new lease on life.
Now, we don't want to mess around with the classic El Camino look, or why start with an El Camino at all? And since it's black, we're gonna keep it black. Now, Mike, I know that's a lot of work for you, but too bad.
But we are going to remove a lot of the bright work and then narrow and tuck those big, wide bumpers to clean up the lines.
The great thing is that since it's a G-body, it's on a GM platform, which means all the parts for it should be fairly easy to get. So I told Aaron I would give him 4 weeks and $30,000 to get it done. And you know what he said?
4 weeks? I'll do you one better. I bet I could even have this thing done in 3.
Right now, I've got to get the harmonic balancer attached to the crankshaft. It's a little tricky because there's not a lot of room to work down there. The crankshaft turns a piston inside the engine, but it's metal on metal, which could create a lot of unwanted vibration, which could damage or destroy the crankshaft. So you put a vibration dampener or harmonic balancer on the end of it to absorb the vibration. The thing is, it takes a little muscle to actually get it tight enough to stay on there. That's why I always like to get a couple of reps in before I start. So close. If we keep up this pace, we should be able to finish in like 2 days. And that's gonna make good on the bet that Aaron made with Richard, that we could finish this car in a blistering 3 weeks. And if Aaron wins, the rest of us monkeys win too. So we're just as anxious to pull this off as he is. And with that, now hopefully I can get that out of there.
What was that, Charles?
The rod I was using to tighten the bolt snapped off inside. Please don't be stuck in there. Hell no. It's gone. This sucker's gone. I did it. I jinxed it. I shouldn't have said anything. I shouldn't have said anything. The other end of it's in the crank.
Damn it.
Yeah.
This may seem like a little annoyance, but it's not. We have to find a way to get that little piece out of the end of the crankshaft without taking the motor apart, because that could set us back as much as 2 days. Bet or no bet, that would piss me off.
So a little JB weld on the end of this and stick it on there and hold it and then back it back out?
No, the chance of getting JB weld on something else is too high on the inside of it.
An easy way to fix this would be stick something in there with a bonding agent on the end of it and then try and back it out that way. But if the bonding agent got on the crankshaft, it could cause further trouble.
Look at how it busted off. The other end of it's in the crank. I was thinking that I could have that catch it, just spin it back.
Maybe. Because the way it's broke right there, you might catch that one edge. Yeah.
Charles is gonna try and line up the 2 broken pieces and see if he can drill it out.
Nope, nothing. It's just not catching.
Man, that's aggravating.
All right, wait a second. I think I have an idea. Machine down a piece of aluminum that just barely fits in there, right? And then let's put a dome on the back of it.
So we decided to try utilizing a bonding agent after all. Aaron had the idea to get a piece of aluminum, dome out the inside of it. We're gonna put some like JB weld or some sort of bonding agent in there. If we can keep the bonding agent inside the cavity, then we won't gunk up the threads. Boom, stick it on there, let it cure, and then just spin it back out. This better work. How long do you think I should let it dry?
I'd give it at least 4 minutes. See what happens.
All right, it's time. Here goes nothing.
Come on, come on. You can do this. You can do it. Come on. Whoa. Mic drop.
Hey.
Man, I want to go hug Uncle Aaron right now.
That's pretty smart. What's that tell you? That he's obviously been there before.
Just that little bit of Pookie, man.
Back to square.
Awesome. I can't tell you how relieved I am. I mean, we went from a DEFCON level 1 down to a DEFCON level 5. Uncle Aaron is gonna be so happy. In fact, I am gonna find him and give him a hug.
One part of this build that's been kind of annoying is the way Aaron wants the trim. Originally, it was just kind of shiny and plain. So Aaron decided instead of painting it or chroming it, he wanted to sand it and give it that brushed finish. It's really a cool idea as long as you're not the one that has to do the work. Anyways, anytime that the guys have had a free moment, they've been working on the trim. Now Tony and I got to find a way to make the wheels match.
Good?
Yeah. We are after maximum results with minimum effort.
Which way are you gonna go?
This way.
All right, let's see if we can mar this thing up. God, oh, that sounds so bad. So bad. So we were thinking that we came up with a pretty clever way to do this. Throw the wheel up on the tire balance machine, Mike spins it, I sand it.
There's got to be a better way to do this. You ever feel like you chose the wrong job?
So the problem is, when I press down on it, the wheel slows down. Turned out to be a bit of a fail. We're getting nowhere fast here. It's like barely doing anything.
Well, what do you want to do? So time to go to plan B. Less Mike, more machine. Okay, there we go.
All right.
This thing's actually got a mechanism that spins the tire at high speed.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to lift it up and down.
All right. Damn it.
So sketchy. Go.
The thing is, it's got a built-in safety that stops it after a couple rotations.
Oh, son of a...
So I'm getting a good 4 or 5 second spin and a lot of peck work, but seem to be getting the desired result. This is what Body Shop has to do when there's nothing for Body Shop to do.
Let's make some money.
The big car of the day is gonna be the El Camino, right?
Yeah, there we are, right there on the front row, man, on the front row. It's a rad dude car. It's a rad dude. So we're at the 2016 Lake Auction Sale. It's just a local car guy auction. Anybody can buy anything here. So I brought the 80 El Camino. We'll see what happens. 6-speed, cold AC, deleted all the trim.
How's it drive?
Rad. I bought the car for $8 grand, and to get it to what it is today, it took about another 30 more. Toss in the lightning strike that took down the paint booth, I'm in for 42 grand.
What do you expect to get out of this? What do you hope?
Between 50 and 75 grand. We'll know in about an hour.
Let's go watch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming at you next, a 1980 Chevrolet El Camino.
What do you say? 25,000. Around 25,000. I got now 50, 25, 50. 25's in. Gonna be $50,000 here to 25, 50, now 75.
So the bidding starts, and right away I notice a pretty familiar face on the floor.
My name's Jim West from Hope, Arkansas. A couple years ago, my wife and I bought the Rolls Royce that Richard and the crew built, the Troll's Choice, and then we also picked up the '69 Riviera, both great cars. So I had to come and look at another gas monkey creation.
Are you on it at 50? You need to own it. Bid 52 bucks.
I'm already over at 50.
Oh, damn it. It needs to go a little higher.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does.
I'd already had my bid in, and he was trying to get me to go up. I think he was wanting me to pull a Richard and drink too much and then overspend for the car.
$51,000 here before we go.
Let him have it.
51 right have. So.
Sorry.
Dude, come on.
I had a lot to eat for lunch. Sorry.
Hey, is that heavy? Push it on in, boys.
Hey, don't get up. Don't hurt yourself.
Is it a car or a truck?
It's black.
It's black.
This is a story of the little 1980 El Camino that could. Well, so far couldn't.
Oh, man.
El Camino. We picked it up in Arizona on what had to be the hottest day of the century.
Ow, ow, ow!
Since it's not really a car or man enough to be a truck, I gave Aaron a generous deadline of 4 weeks to kind of give it some huevos.
Oh, yeah.
But since there's so many aftermarket parts available for this G-body, Aaron actually manned up and bet me one even better. He said he could get it done in 3 weeks. What could go wrong?
Whoa!
Good Lord.
Well, first off, Aaron thought he had so much time that he wasted 3 days reshaping the bumpers.
Got a delivery for you.
When he finally rushed it into paint, he got some bad news.
Don't have no power, dude. We don't have a paint booth.
Fixing that gobbled up 4 days of his schedule, and if he's still gonna win his bet, well, he's gonna have to step it up. I mean, how'd that quote go? The best laid plans of mice and bearded men?
The paint looks great, Mike. Man, dude, you guys killed it. Thank you for pushing as much as you did to get it done as quickly as you did. Now we know what we got to do. Jeremy's, we got a lot of work. We got less than a week to get this thing together and start running it. Oh, and Aaron's running a little bit late. He's trying to catch up on one of his own projects he's building at home. So.
Hey, can you not lean on that's fresh paint? I just wanted to be that guy. People are always doing it to me, so I wanted
You shouldn't be talking, you should be working.
Yeah. Hey, so we need to get this thing in the air, finish the bottom of the car.
Bye, suckers.
We can get a long way today, so let's get after it. I know Aaron didn't mean it, but he pretty much put our backs to the wall on this one. I mean, we basically have a week to pretty much build a whole car.
Do it on the trim, you deserve a push. How do you steer this thing?
At least we did a bunch of the prep work for this phase of the build while we were in paint.
Ernesto.
The plan is to go just full throttle, do everything as fast as we can do it, and just hope nothing else gets in our way.
Look at there.
Today, the real fun begins. We finally get to mock up this badass LS3. It's gonna give our car over 600 horsepower. That ought to move our little El Camino down the road pretty good.
Chop that wood!
All right, ready to come down with it a little?
Let's do that.
By the way, Aaron called in and said he'd be in soon. Still trying to get his Falcon ready for the next race.
Yeah, and with the long hours we keep working to meet these deadlines, I'm surprised he ever gets a chance to work on his personal stuff. Like a glove. Good
An
clearance.
abundance of room?
Yay!
Golf clap.
Man. So we got the motor placed in, had a V8 in it before, another V8 in it, no problem. But the transmission's gonna be another story. Our biggest problem is gonna be stabbing.
I mean, if anything, it hit that pinch weld.
Aaron opted to switch out the automatic for a manual, and I get it. We're doing a lot of horsepower, a lot of suspension, so it's real important that it doesn't just drive itself. We want some driver input. But the manual transmission is a little longer, and it is gonna sit in a little different way than the automatic.
Hold it.
Okay. Are you dialed in?
Yep.
Okay. You can reach all the way up there. It's kind of a good sign.
All right, let me go run the jack. In.
That's it. There's not much more room. I think we've found a good stopping point until Aaron gives us his thoughts on this.
You've been staring at that for a while, Aaron. You see something you don't like there?
It's hard to run, hard to put a clutch master cylinder there. That's a bit of a problem.
Yeah, it's getting busy real quick over here.
That's kind of right where I got some other business going down. We'll figure it out. So it's taking a little longer than planned to get our new LS3 engine mocked up in our 80 El Camino. Since our El Camino was originally an automatic car and we're making it a manual, I'm having Webster cut into the existing trans tunnel to make room for the shifter. And since there's no provision for mounting the clutch master cylinder on the firewall, the next job for me is to fabricate a bracket that will do just that. I think this one will fit really well.
On top of that, our bigger motor crowded out the original AC, so we're gonna have to go with a smaller, newer unit.
Yeah, dude, you're there. Yeah, you're there.
That means we can't finish mocking up until I fabricate a box to mount the AC to the firewall. We were hoping to have this motor mocked up 2 days ago. Sound familiar? Yeah, been there, done that.
All right, it looks like we're making some progress. What about the AC? How'd you feel about all this?
I got one more line I'm trying to figure out. We need a few more fittings. Beyond that, everything is sitting where it needs to sit.
Yeah, considering the growing problems when we first dropped it all in here, I think we got them all handled pretty good. If we can just keep that rhythm up. Let's pull everything and get it over to Mike. Right on, right on, right on. Right now, the motor and tranny are taking a little side trip over to the paint booth to get a little makeover.
All right, here we go. Oh, my God.
After I get them primed, I'm gonna finish them out with a matte charcoal, and that will really complement that black metallic exterior.
Oh, this is back when they made cars out of real metal, huh?
It is. 1980. Were you even born then?
Not 80.
At least Mike's already got the bumpers painted, and I'm loving the smoother, tucked look. But there's no time to stop and admire our work. Even though it may seem like it on TV, a finished car doesn't just magically appear. There's 1,000 details that need to get done. They're not all interesting, but every one is vital.
Let's see how magic works.
Watch your head. He's coming down.
Ever get that shrinking feeling? What's going on here?
Just put it right here, kind of back where it was.
Okay. I think it came out pretty good.
I really like it.
Yeah, me too. It's
Clean.
gonna look sick.
Oh yeah, up against that black fender wells and stuff.
Once I get the hood over here, I'm almost done.
Shh, don't jinx us, Mike.
Bye-bye now.
So we're down to 3 days on the El Camino, and today is very important that we get many, many things done.
All right, let her down.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Look at that.
First, Charles has got to get the motor and transmission back in the car.
You've been working out.
Huh?
I said, you must be working out.
You want to get in shape? You got to come over to our side. Every day's a workout, man.
At least it's in there for good this time. We don't have time to pull it out again.
Once they get everything locked down and bolted into place, we have to complete the fuel brake lines, all the hookups to our power steering lines. We got to do all the plumbing, get it all done.
Charles, since the car's up, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on exhaust. It's kit, so it should start bolting on. Ooh, yeah, I got that pre-made X-pipe. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
We need at least 2 full days to run the car, go through the cycles, get the wheels and tires here, which we still don't have, get the radiator back in, coolant, check for leaks.
Okay, that's the one we'll use right there, guys, okay? You got that?
We still have a long way to go. We are behind the 8 ball trying to get it done. We're running out of time. It's still possible, but if we stumble today, it could cost us the project being done on time.
It's done.
Woohoo! Looks nice and wet. Think we got an issue, though.
Yeah?
Yeah. Dents. We got 2 of them.
Shit. Fuck me.
Yeah?
I see them. They're super small, but they're there.
So the hood was always in pretty good shape. It's hard to tell in primer sometimes on exactly how straight it is or if you're missing something. And we move at such a fast speed that it's even harder.
Today on Fast and Loud, Jeremy Cheatham builds another exhaust system. Hey, Mike, can you help me get the steering column in this car? I would really like to go home sometime today. Thank you. So we're pushing really hard so we can get everything done so we can ship this 55 Chevy to Barrett Jackson on time. Jeremy's starting to weld the exhaust system together.
I got bogey.
And Coy just started painting the steering column, so I'm gonna jump on that.
You're turning it the wrong way. Turn it the other way.
I was just trying to hold it, not to scratch it.
Turn it. There
Which
you
way?
go. You're close. Lift it up. Yep, there you go.
Okay, higher?
Huh? Yeah, you're
Hold on.
you're hitting the end of the column, like on the body.
Well, that sucks.
Well, I didn't make it.
Well, we get the steering column through the firewall, but the opening's too small to get the angle right to get everything tightened up. Damn.
You want me to mark it and we can trim it out a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, slide that back out.
So, we're just gonna make the hole in the firewall bigger.
Can you see my finger? Hold on, I'll show you.
Here, put your finger in there, I'll grind it.
Right here. Okay.
About that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we should be able to get the steering column in, tighten it up, and we're ready to go.
Hold on, Mike. You just push.
I'm trying. Stress is getting a little more as the time dwindles down.
Come on, give it a big Oklahoma push.
Would you shut the hell up?
Come on, they do everything smaller in Oklahoma.
You got it!
Yeah.
Yeah, right the first time, just like everything else.
You want to see something really dumb? Should we tell them they're going the wrong way?
Yeah. If you want to, you can put that one on the other side.
Yeah.
What does that matter? Well, seeing as how those are directional tires.
Yeah.
Oh, I just see that. I see that now. You can't win, can you?
All right, guys, as soon as I finish filling these fluids up, this is it for me. I'm calling it a night.
So when we went to fire the engine for Richard, try, Jason, I had a suspicion the timing was off. So I'm working on getting it retimed so we don't disappoint our adoring Barrett Jackson fans. Try it. Damn, a lot of adjustment on this distributor. It needs a little bit more timing, and I gave it all the timing it could physically have via the distributor. So what I need to do is pull the distributor out, reclock it, and set it back in. That way I can get the timing I need. It's basically 1 tooth off, so that's what I'm working on right now. I'm gonna get it retimed, and hopefully it'll fire it up. I know the shipper's on his way. Richard's really anxious to get this thing out the door, but I gotta dig a little deeper than I'd hoped. Pressure's on me to get this thing running. 4, 3, 6, should be this one. Try it. That, my friends, is the sweet sound of me keeping my job.
The engine runs. That is awesome. We're ready to go drive this beast. And you know the best place to enjoy a running engine? From the driver's seat, which our car doesn't have right now. So if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna get to work. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lay this in there and start fitting the driver's side. Could I order a ratchet and an extension, please?
Okay. Here you go.
Ready. Ta-da. Ta-da. 2 more and we're done.
Hey guys, we're gonna finish this one on time. We're almost done.
You know, you just jinxed us again. You know that, right?
I'm not supposed to say that until we're done.
Don't ever say it till we're done and it's rolling out the door.
What'd you say? We're gonna finish on time.
Oh, you're so stupid.
All right, guys and gals, here we go. 1955 Chevy 2-door hardtop coupe. Now, it doesn't get much cooler than that. They were plentiful, they were bountiful, they've been hot-rodded in so many different ways you can't even count them. Well, they hadn't been done by Gas Monkey yet, because we've never done one, and this is it.
So we got back to the shop. It was obvious that we had a very solid car, but we didn't have much time, and with a high entry price, we didn't have a lot of money, but I knew exactly what to do. So we got the monkeys and set them loose on it. First, we had to deal with the color. The yellow was okay, but we decided that it would look a lot meaner if it was paired with black instead of white. So we got it kicked over to the paint side, and Mike painted the roof and the back of the car, so it definitely helped the way the car looked. But the car definitely sat weird, and while it did run and drive, there were definitely some improvements that needed to be made. So using Ride-Tech components, upper and lower control arms, 4-link rear, and coilovers on all 4 corners, we were able to give the car an incredible ride and get it as close to terra firma as it needed to be to pull this whole thing off.
Hey, hold on, I can't see. Freshly rebuilt 283 Chevy, born 60 over. Transmission, the car had disc brakes added.
So here we are, day 2 of Barrett Jackson Northeast here at the Mohegan Sun. And even though I'm not at the casino, I'm still gambling here.
Next up is lot 7001. This is a 1955 Chevrolet 210 custom hardtop, custom built by the Gas Monkey Garage.
Right now, my 55's going up. I gotta get in there, see what's going on. I don't have time to talk to you or you behind the camera. I gotta go. There we go. You know, for a second, this thing looked like it was gonna hit 50 grand. And just buzz right on by. You get a better car than that. But I guess 50K was the price ceiling for a 55 Chevy.
Lost that for $1,000.
You should have bet it. That's cool with me. That puts 10 grand in my pocket, and more importantly, we got a gas monkey build in front of a crowd here in the Northeast. The other day, I was combing through ads on the old interwebs, and I came across a truck for sale at a shop out in Los Angeles that I've known about for a while. Now, this isn't any old truck. It's a COE, or cab over engine. And these days, everybody wants one. So me and Aaron hopped on a plane, and we're out here to see if we can make a deal. I like COEs.
COEs are really strange because they're normal pickup cabs. They're just shoved up way over the top of the engine, and then the front end is snub nose, really short bumper, really short fenders, really short. Everything about it's so strange. Anyway, they make great hot rods.
That one guy in Fort Worth built one, didn't he? Had it with like the motor in the back.
There's a couple of them, yeah.
I think this is the road. Yeah, okay, this is it. Cool. So we get to the shop, and there's not just one COE, but two. The first one, it's a little rough, but the second one,
Boy, it's a sweet piece.
heck yeah. It's super rad, and my favorite color. What does it say on the door?
I have no idea how to pronounce it.
El Saggy Sora Hugan, Montana. So we're checking out both the COEs and just kind of getting the grip on the lay of the land, and John, the owner, walks out, introduced himself. Hey, man.
Hey.
What's going on? Richard
Going on?
Rawlings.
John.
And his partner.
Casey.
Casey?
Good to meet you.
And we started talking cars. So you guys just mainly do service? You do full builds? Or?
No, full builds. I'm John Soley. I own Westside Hot Rods. This is my business partner, Casey.
How we doing? So, tell us about the green COE you got over here.
You know what? I use this thing in my house. I got a big yard, and I was moving cars around with it, and it's really easy to steer.
So it runs and drives?
Yeah, I'll run and drive right now.
Okay. Let's go take it for a ride.
Let's go.
I'll sit. I'm not worried about it. Golly, dude.
Hey, I didn't get the shifter there.
Here we go. Whoa, watch the goods, dude. Here we go.
Hey, you might want to step on the brakes, make sure they function. Why? You don't like to live dangerously?
You can always downshift. That grading was pretty low.
Yeah.
He'll come to a stop, I guarantee you. Nail it, dude. Put it in another gear. You're almost out. I don't know if you want to go into the next gear, brother.
Why not? The next one's for first.
So this COE drove like about a half-century-old truck.
Hell yeah. Well, I got two. Look on his face.
And then on top of that, it makes no power. The spread on the transmission is very wide, and the gears are very low.
That's how we're doing a burnout.
So was it fun to drive? Oh, hell yeah. Could you get anywhere? Absolutely not.
Anything valuable.
Wow, that was a hell of a ride.
So what do we think?
I think we need it.
So we get back from the drive, and of course, Aaron's got already visions of my wallet dancing in his head, and he's gonna do all these things. But first of all, we gotta see if we can get it bought. How much is this?
6,500. How's that sound? 7,500. You tell me what you think is fair. How's that?
4,500 bucks.
You want to flip a coin for it?
Well, I'm always down for flipping.
Me too.
In the spirit of making a deal, he decides he wants to flip coin. I mean, you want to flip a coin with me? I always win flipping coins. I never lose. I'm down. Let's do it.
How about I do this? How about 10,000 for 1,000?
Okay, I'm down.
So we're gonna flip for it. If I win, Richard owes me 10K for the truck. If I lose, he owes me 1,000 bucks. So what do you want, heads or tails?
We'll go ahead and flip it first. I'll call it in the air. Tails. It's heads.
Sweet! Everybody gets paid.
Well, there goes your, hey, sorry, man.
Would we do 2 out of 3 or anything?
Yeah, let's do
No,
this.
I'm just kidding.
Hang on. I like gambling, okay?
Okay.
How about we do this?
Yeah, oh my God.
One last
Here
shot.
we go again.
How about we do this? You take it for free, or you give me 15 grand, okay? You give me 15 grand.
All right, we'll do that too. All right, you gonna call it?
Tails.
Oh, you better stop.
Wow.
Now I'm Woo, that's down there. So a while back, me and Aaron went out to lovely LA because I like to buy cars on the West Coast because that means we get to go to the West Coast. But I found a 1950s Ford COE. Drove around the block. It drove like crap. It didn't stop for anything, but it was kind of fun and it was still kooky cool, so I wanted it. We bought it for 5 G's and brought it back here to Dallas. Is that the splitter instructions?
This is the instructions on how to drive this truck, sir.
I didn't think real men read instructions.
Well, that's why they wear the glove box.
Talked about building it, but it was a little too much to take on, so I put it up on the interwebs, and this guy raced right over, and I took him for a test drive.
That's all.
What's up?
My name is Will Patterson from Houston, Texas. I own a classic car restoration shop called the Rehab Garage. It's very, very hard to find a good COE. I've looked at about 20 over the last 2 years, and most of them are completely rusted out, not worth saving or can't be saved.
So there you go, man.
I like it.
I don't know what else to tell you. It's a COE, it runs and drives, needs a little love, but it's the right gig.
Perfect. I like it.
How much? Offer me 20. I dare you.
20? Richard hit me at 20 grand. There's no way I'm paying that for the truck. That's getting twice as much money for half the truck. Like, literally half the truck.
I'm thinking that
it ain't got a bed. I'm getting half a truck. And it goes half speed, like half speed. 20 minus half a bed and half speed's like 5.
No, I can't do 5. 15 would be a good number. I mean, where are you gonna find one that's rust-free, has a good patina, and
does 20?
Yeah, exactly, and does 20.
You gotta come down from 15. You know 15, that's too much.
Okay,
I got
fine.
too much work to do.
Go
Even
past
if I just
10.
go this way.
Go past 10 and I'll consider it. I'm like, dude, just do anything better than 10. Now, the Richard Rawlings would have done 10.01.
All right, look, the best I can do, done and done, or I'm leaving is 11,000.
But he did 11 grand. All right, 11 grand. Let me
Deal.
see it. And that was good enough for me. Cool deal, man. All right, good doing business with you. Let's go do some paperwork, get you your titles. We'll get you out of here.
Cool.
So it's day 3 of Barrett Jackson here at Mohegan Sun, and today's really the day we've been waiting for. The 55 Chevrolet that the Monkeys built is coming up later on tonight, but right now, it's my $300,000 Lamborghini Countach.
I'm ready to get now, $45, have it out, I'm gonna get out, get it here. I'm ready to get now, £300 dollar. I give 100, I'm ready to get now, 50, 60, and 60 pound, 70 pound dollar, 80 pound dollar, 90 pound dollar, 100 pound dollar, 10, at 120, 820 pound dollar, now I'm ready to get now, 120, 30, I'm ready to get now, 130, 40, cover on at 140, 840 pound dollar, now I'm ready to get now, 150, 850 pound dollar, now I'm ready to get now, 160.
Apparently, the filthy rich brought their wallets today because we just passed 150K like it was pocket change.
60, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80. I gotta get down 180 pounds and 190 pounds and now I'm gonna get down 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, I'm gonna get down 100.
Well, I may have spoken too soon.
190 pounds and now 190 now. Hey! $180,000 done.
They can get there. Hey, look, be taking it back home. So it got to 180, stalled out. I didn't sell it. I'll be taking that one back to the shop. Nothing like sitting on $250,000.
Look who's here.
What's up, dude?
How you doing? My name is Elliot Vansel. I'm from Midlothian, Texas.
What is that?
That's a Schwimm wagon from 1943, World War II.
Invented by David Schwimmer.
Yeah, you have to go Schwimm wagon.
Elliot's not just your average hop-on-the-internet collector. So this guy spends his time, spends his money to travel the world and go and hunt down vehicles.
What's the deal with this one?
Man, I've had it for a while. I just don't have time to mess with it and no room really, but I'd sell you this one. It's original paint, 65.
Really?
And you look at it, there's no rust.
I love the color on it.
Yeah, I do. Man, honestly, I think that stuff would just buff right out.
Man, I think this thing looks sexy buffed. I really like it.
So get it down some.
What year did you say this is?
65.
65?
Yeah.
So just all bone stock?
Yeah, just bone stock. Stock 40 horse, original paint, good pans, good heater channels.
Smells a little musty.
They all do.
So we checked out the car. I could tell Aaron was into it from the originality of the paint and stuff like that and the fact that it's not rusty. So now all I gotta do is get it bought. Well, what do you want for this thing, man?
I'll take $8,000 for it.
Come on, you said you were cleaning out the shop. You needed the room. I was thinking more like $4,500.
Nah, I can't do that. Richard, I know you're a wheeler dealer, but I've been doing this a while. You're not getting it for $4,500.
You know, it's crazy. I have no idea if he's low or you're high. I don't know what it is. I want to think this is a $500 car, but I'm sure that's wrong.
15 years ago was a $500 car. These things are getting hard to find.
In good
Original
shape.
paint, original stickers, unmessed with. You can ask Aaron.
All right, how about 5,500?
And it's still a little bit low.
Well, listen, we could offset it a little bit. Y'all build some Volkswagen parts, don't you?
We do.
We're gonna need Volkswagen parts when we build it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Say if we can get closer to his price, maybe he can hook us up with a bunch of parts we need.
I'll do this. $6 grand. We'll build you a 4-inch narrowed beam, get it on the ground. We'll build you some drop plates in the back to get it sitting right. If you got questions, got issues, we'll help you out with the motors and stuff like that. And $6 grand, I think we can get it done.
Does that work?
I have no idea what these are worth.
All right, man, we'll do it. Treat us right on the little van, so let's see what we can do with this.
Hashtag sold.
Pretty good negotiating, man.
Man, I needed it to work out. It's a car I wanted to build, so I just need y'all to agree on something.
Awesome. You're going bugging, Aaron.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
Now we got loaded.
I've never built a Beetle. I've always been curious about it. I've always wanted to, but I was afraid to be a Beetle guy, Beetle person. So I'm gonna plus size the wheels, big brakes, very big motor, 2.3, but I really wanted to retain so much of the factory appearance. So everything on the outside will kind of stay this way. We're just gonna give it a brand new attitude.
You're gonna do EcoBoost in this one?
If there was enough time. I think we'll stick with the air-cooled VW. So I'll get the PDR guy over here. PDR, paintless dent repair. It's the old repair techniques that have never really gone away.
I have counted 22 dings, dents, creases.
You count better than I do. Only now, instead of wasting time with the car going to someone else's shop, the technician comes to me. I like having the PDR guy massage the dents out because it's faster than Coy spending a week with it in the paint shop. Richard will like it because it's cheaper than new paint, and as a bonus, not spending the cash will result in more profit.
Let's hit my side.
Right there.
It's all you.
You should have a pretty decent gap over there. That's
Yeah,
the way it
it's
is
good. Arms will reach it, though.
Dude, this thing did clean up. What are y'all gonna do now, tear it apart?
Yeah, I'm just gonna shake the motor out of the bottom of it.
Well, let's see it, homeboy. Shake it out. Or does it shake it off?
I don't know. Ready? I don't think it's gonna come out. It's got 4 bolts that hold it in.
Yeah, you should probably get some tools.
That's what I was doing.
No, you're working with a tool, trust me.
Whoa.
2 of them. I work for a tool, trust me.
Easy. This thing look cute on the lip.
Looks tiny. I'm going to strip the bumpers, wheels, and all that, get all that crap out of the way.
In terms of how good of condition the car's in, it's impeccable. For a 1965 model car to only have just a little bit of surface rust and not be beat up is kind of an anomaly, actually. They don't happen very often.
Okay, go for it. Yep, you got it. Speedo cable, hold on.
We're gonna put a new suspension, new engine, new interior, but keep that old look of the car. Easy peasy, huh? You'll be able to hop in it, man, and pop.
TFT knows his VWs, man. Tony Taylor tool time, go for it. Now we're just taking the rear suspension, transmission, front suspension, getting everything out of the way so we can add all the new fun stuff. Oh, you're done. Good enough. Between you and Charles, the knowledge of Volkswagens.
I got dirty. What do you do now? Do you get to go home when you get dirty?
Why are you bugging me?
Bug's ready.
Cool. Can we drive it?
Let's go.
Let's bug out. What we have today is a 1965 Volkswagen Bug. Yeah! This thing is in such great shape that I got with Coy and Tony, and I'm thinking, this thing can be saved, can it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we didn't have to do anything. The paint was buffed out and saved you a lot of time and money.
Well, technically, y'all were still on salary, weren't you?
So maybe it didn't save you all that much money.
Yeah.
But we did save you time.
So when it comes to powering this thing, talking with Elliot and his guys about building us a monster motor, well, monster costs money. That's wicked. And $5,500 later, we've got a pretty monster Volkswagen.
Started off with a 1600cc motor making 40 horsepower, switched it over to the big motor, over 200 horse. This thing, fast.
So we reached out to our friends at Air Cooled Custom VW, and they hooked us up big time. 17-inch rims, brakes all the way around, custom front end to get it down low and mean, rear suspension, you name it. This stuff all came in one pallet, and it came quick, which allowed us to meet our time frame. Thanks, air-cooled DW. Boom. When it comes to installing the transaxle, we reached out to our friends at Rancho Performance Transaxles because they make a unit that is super easy to put in.
With that transaxle, we can get all that 200 horse to those sticky tires and make this one bad bug.
Hey, bad is my line. I told the guys in the paint shop that I wanted the wheel centers to match the interior. When they got painted the first time, they were gray. Can you explain that?
You just said match the interior, which we didn't have an interior color to go with, so we just started painting. I painted a color that Jason told me to paint. Then I painted a color that I thought looked good. Then I painted a color that you picked out.
So we only did it like 4 times and we were all wrong.
In the end, we made them body color, and that's not gonna bug anyone. To finish it off, we redid the interior, freshened up the bright work, and added a classic roof rack to add a little old school style. So this is what you called me about?
Yeah.
What is this, like a 75, huh?
Yep.
It's cool, short bed.
Yeah, it is cool.
4x4.
I liked it when I made the deal with the guy. And
What was the deal?
Well, I did a lot of work on his other truck for it.
So you just he traded his bill for this truck?
Yeah.
And this needs work?
Yes, sir.
Ugh. Pretty straight body, though, and it's not rusty.
Yeah, they took care of it. I like the winch. I'd like to keep the winch.
I don't know. I like the way it's like 80s out, like got these fender flares and... Battery's dead. There's no headliner. Seat's ripped. Radio's obviously broken. Or it is now. It's a little oxidized.
Yeah, a little spit shine.
Heck yeah. Do that on the other side, we're good to go. Just added value to this thing. It's rad. I mean, it's not rusty, it's not beat up. Got a dent in the tailgate, a little oxidized paint, but it's all like, you know, 80s Fall Guy type style. You know, it's straight up cool. Battery's dead. It looks like it'll run and drive. And I think it's a pretty easy flip if I can get it at the right price.
I'm hoping to get $6 grand for the truck. Knowing Richard, I probably get maybe 4 or less.
Dude, I can't pay that. If you traded labor for it, I was thinking more like non-running short bed junk box truck. How about 2 grand?
I was really wanting 4.
Well, I'm really wanting to pay 2.
I need 4. I got $3,000 worth of labor on the other truck.
All right, so how about 3 grand? That's the middle.
That is the middle.
3 grand.
I should have started higher then, huh?
Yeah.
How about $32.50?
Man, I love Phipps, but he can't negotiate for which is probably why I like him so much, come to think of it. It's 3 grand, that's what I got right here.
I'd rather have 4.
You want the money or you don't want the money?
Well, you got it out of your pocket. I've seen it. Yeah, I do want it.
All right, kick, brother. I'll call Tony and come on, we got a deal?
All right, cool.
Come on.
Hey, thanks.
We'll have Tony come get it, since he sent me down here to do the dirty work anyways.
Cool. I got 3 grand for the truck. I'm happy. It'll work out. They'll do something with it, and I won't have to. It's good.
So Ricardo bought this 75 Silverado from Phipps the other day. I gotta say, he done good. Not a lot of rust and just the right amount of dents.
So what's the Grandmaster Flash plan with this?
Well, because it's just, you know, we're not doing anything too great with it, and it's kind of almost okay the way it is. I figured we'd buff it. We've got really one badly damaged piece of trim, the tailgate. We're gonna pull the chrome off of it and leave it buffing, leave it like it is, pull all the little emblems off, you know, the junk that's all over it, pull the winch off the front, pull the tube grill out of it, so we'll have a stock grill, stock bumper up front, no winch, clean up the engine bay a little bit. It's gonna get a new column, new headliner, new seat, carpet, and then cleaned up paint. We're gonna wash the tires and wheels, and then we're gonna repolish the wheels, and you know, reseal the differentials and the leaking stuff on it, that'd be about it. So
works for me. I mean, should bring what, 12, 13 grand then?
It's an interesting truck. I think you'll find a good buyer for it.
All right, cool. Get after it.
When it comes to parts on this Silverado, they're kind of like us. Some just need a little vacation to rehab. Others have done their job and need to be retired.
One of the things we noticed early on when we got the truck in was that the trim didn't line up at all, which doesn't matter other than the fact that it's an indicator that the cab bushings are wore out.
Maybe nothing will fall on us. As you can see, it's a pretty good example. This one's actually walking away. And so the cab would wiggle independent from the chassis and from the bed.
It's not fresh paint or a new motor, but getting quick little jobs like this one done can improve the ride and the appearance of the truck enough that Richard can make a few bucks by flipping it. At least that's the plan.
By putting new cab bushings in it, the vehicle will feel much more connected to the road, much more stable, and bonus is the trim lineup. Like always, more complicated than it should be.
Simple doesn't always mean easy, but with a few adjustment of the sleeves for the body mounts,
Okie dokie.
the fresh bushings are just what the truck doctor ordered.
So these things do have shims on them, so we may have to adjust this a couple times. Oh, it's such a nasty mess down there. What have I done? Nasty, nasty, nasty. You know, I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I should pop some cab bushings in this thing. Nice clean job, be done in a minute. Hell no. Laying around all this crap. It's like, it's a horrible idea, that's what it was. I was trying to get a couple things lined up a little better before I set it back down. I think I did an excellent job of replacing the cab bushings.
With the trim lining up, the Silverado eyeballs a bit better, so Richard can get on to selling it. And now I can get on to doing some laundry so I can get myself packed up for a vacation.
I like this finish. You could always paint it. You can paint it 100 times, but it's only gonna look like this once.
So I'm coming back from lunch on my KTM, and Tony's out there trying to sell the Silverado. Now, Tony's my guy for managing the inventory, but if you're gonna close a deal, you need the closer. What's up?
What's up, home slice?
Man, just enjoying the weather. Look at this day.
It's a pretty day, man.
Richard Rawlings.
Mark Ringel.
Mark, how you doing?
My name is Mark Ringel. I'm from New York, New York.
You the guy that called about taking a look at this truck?
I am.
Cool, man. Tony, did you sell it to him yet?
I'm in the process of selling it, but I had to bring in the closer, man. Well, where have you been?
The closer's here, man. So what do you think?
It's an awesome truck, you know. I've been looking for a truck like this, and it's just, you don't come around one of these every day.
Get in, I'll take you for a ride. So what are you gonna do with something like this if you buy it?
Take it down to my beach home. I got 2 Defenders right now that we're using to shovel our paddleboards and surfboards.
Oh, yeah? The beach where you live would be what beach?
Southampton.
Got it. Isn't the Hamptons like a Richie area? You got lots of money?
I guess. Truck's real solid truck. It's driving real nice. A little bit of play in the steering, but some easy fixes and the car will be perfect.
I paid $3,000 for this truck, and I hardly put anything in it. So anything over $3,500, well, that's great. What do you think about that, Mark?
It's awesome.
Is it 15 grand awesome?
It's not 15 grand awesome.
Come on, man. It's a cool truck, and they're pretty hard to find. I mean, to be rust-free, and it's got a couple of whiskey dents in it and whatever, but, you know, you said you're from up in the New York area?
Yes.
You're gonna find a truck like this up there. It's missing about everything from the body molding down.
That's true, but I think it's more of a 5, maybe 6 grand truck.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, who do you think you are, gas monkey? At the end of the day, this truck's gonna bring 12 to 15 grand on the internet no matter what. How about 14?
How about 8.3?
Come on, man, what kind of number is 83? Who comes up with 83? I mean, is it like his grandma's birthday or what?
I could come up to about 10.
You're getting closer.
All right, so here's my final offer in cash.
All right.
12.
You got cash?
I got cash.
Is that 12?
It's 12, count it out.
He busted out 12 grand cash. That was my number. Deal done. And cash always works.
Cool, man. All right, looks like I just sold you a truck, brother.
You didn't sell him anything, Tony. I did. I'm the closer around here.
Well, I'm about to do the paperwork. That's when the truck's sold.
Yeah.
You got the cash. That's the easy part.
So I graduated high school in Fort Worth in 1987. That's right, I'm a lot younger than I look. Now, school and me, well, it was never the most comfortable fit, but I had something cool to help me get through the whole thing. My 1974 Mercury Comet. When you talk to gearheads about hot rods, you never hear the words Mercury Comet. But back in 1974, it had a lot to offer. Based on the same frame as the Ford Maverick, it was a compact car with class and a comfortable ride. By the time I got mine in high school, it was 11 years old, but I still thought it was the cat's meow.
You drove a Comet? Wow.
Yeah, it was puke green. I mean, the most disgusting color of green you could have picked.
What made you buy that?
It was my dad's car, and he decided to sell it so he could get something else. He was willing to finance it for me. I think he charged me $25 a week or something.
And it was a 6-cylinder?
At least I had a car. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Mercury Comet. Oh, dude, imagine that thing all nice and green on green. Love it. So, what's the story on this car?
Came from California, and it was a typical dear old lady story. She drove it on the weekends to the supermarket. The car actually got shipped out to Cape Cod, where I bought it.
What all the miles are?
55,000. Yep. So I'm checking it out in the driveway. I mean, the interior is unbelievable.
The car's clean, there's no rust, and it's really dry underneath.
Been tapped once over here.
Yeah, there's a little Bondo on that side. Probably a parking lot accident. You want to see under the hood?
Yes, sir. Still got all the smog stuff.
Yeah, let's start it up.
Oh, sounds good. You're looking for somewhere around...
We were asking $6,200 for it, but we're open to offers. She's got to give the yes or no.
So they were hoping for around $6,200. Quite frankly, I don't know if that's in or out of the ballpark because there's just not anything to compare it to. But you know me, no matter what, I need to get it cheaper. Golly, I think I only got like $3 grand when I sold it in high school. How about $3,500?
That's...
No way?
No.
All right, what's the bottom line?
$4,500?
Wow, we're moving in the right direction. How about $4 grand?
Smidgen more.
A smidgen more. How much is a smidgen?
200.
Okay, 4,200.
That'll get us dinner tonight.
4,200 bucks. There you
To
go,
the
man.
Thank you, Richard.
Anyways, this isn't about money. I don't want to build this car and sell it and make a profit. I want a chance to get behind the wheel of the very first car I ever had and be that kid that was ready to take on the world. Well, guys, we're going to get back to Dallas. Thank y'all
you very
again.
much.
You made my high school dreams come true again.
Great to meet y'all.
See you later.
Wish it was green on green, but we can fix that at Gas Monkey. Otherwise, it's exactly what I need. Going back to 1987, it's going to be like going back to the back, wherever that is. You are looking at, except for the coloring, the exact car I had in high school.
So what are we doing?
I want the exact car I had in high school. AC, power steering, power brakes, shag
I
carpet.
don't think you can use power on anything on this car.
Dude, come on.
It's ridiculous. It's got bumpers that stick out like a mile. Like this much room between the body and the bumpers.
I know.
This is the first car I ever customized.
How did you customize it?
Well, I put a stick-on hood scoop, I put some stripes on it, and I had some Keystone mags with some Toyo raised white leather tires.
And that's what you want to do again?
Heck yeah.
Richard liked to pop his collar a lot, and it put it up real high and walked through the halls like he owned it.
He thought he was so cool, and everybody was like, okay.
You know, that Comet, I don't understand why he was in love with it because it was puke green and nobody thought that it was cool. He would do donuts to get attention, but it really didn't work.
But what made it interesting to me was he thought it was everything. He thought this was the coolest car ever made, and I actually admired that.
Welcome to Eastern Hills High School and my first car. 1974 Mercury Comet in what I affectionately call Vomit Comet Green. For years and years, I've been threatening the car community by bringing back the Vomit Comet and finally decided to do so. I went out to Arizona, found myself a pristine white with blue interior 74 Mercury Comet, brought it back down here to Dallas and told the monkeys what I wanted. I want the exact car I had in high school. Why? Exactly. So after a lot of pressure from Daphne and the guys moping around, I decided to let them do their thing. You know, give me the 2017 version of my Comet.
Richard turned it over to us, and, you know, that was a big deal for us to make the car that we thought he should have had in high school. We wanted it meaner and cleaner, so one of the first things we had to deal with were the bumpers.
1974 was one of those years where they actually stuck the bumpers out quite a bit for crash regulations. Ugly. We put a 1972 style Maverick bumper on ours. We tucked them in 10 times better.
One way Richard tried to toughen up his car back in high school was to add a hood scoop. We decided to make it a lot cooler than that, so our plan was to use the Maverick grabber hood with the dual dome scoops, but it didn't quite fit the Comet. What we decided to do is to keep the original Comet hood and implement the grabber hood into the back 2/3, and it gave us the look we were looking for, fit the car, we didn't have to change the front end, saved us some time.
Now, when it came to the power plant, I didn't really want to go overboard. I had Jamie rebuild the motor, rebuild the carburetor. It's got a little bit more power, but we're running all the original components underneath. Motor, tranny, rear end, you name it. Well, except for Charles here had to put in a Positrack.
Come on in.
You know, that's the differential where both wheels spin at the same time. Let me tell you why that's cool. When I would do brake stands through here, only one wheel was turning. Now, we're gonna be turning two.
Hey, peg leg, not cool.
Not cool.
Unless you're a pirate.
This is true.
Arr. When it came to rolling stock, we reached out to US Mags, who made us a stellar set of wheels.
And Chassis Works took care of us on the front suspension with the Verishocks, the total control suspension. Makes this car ride like a dream.
Now, when it came to color, the 1974 Mercury Comet Green was the coolest color in the world.
Well, let's talk about that. It wasn't exactly the coolest color, but you made me go with it anyway. So me and Tony took a little more time to straighten up the body and make it absolutely perfect. We worked the gaps, we worked everything to really slick this car out. Because let's be honest, the car that Richard had before, the tuba player was going on more dates than he was. When we finally got the color light on, we all had to agree with Richard. Man, it's the right color for the car, and we all love it.
When it came to the interior, I wanted to keep it stock. Now, the car that I had in high school was green on green, which was a really hideous combination. But this car, being a bucket seat, screamed for black.
We put in a kicker stereo, subwoofer, 6x9s. Now, Richard can relive those old heavy metal days from back in the day.
So I was a little nervous letting the guys take over the Comet, because I really wanted the Comet of my high school days, but, well, I couldn't have been happier when they delivered the 2017 version. But at the end of the day, the big question is, am I gonna get a wicked smoky burnout like the ones I thought I was doing when I was young? There's only one way to find out, and me being a child, kids will be kids. Y'all watch this.
Don't wreck it.
Yeah, don't wreck it.
Let's go, Richard! Let's go, Richard! Let's go, Richard! Let's go, Richard!
So, I guess I'll never have that perfect replica of the Vomit Comet, but I'm okay with that. Woo! Because just like me, the Gas Monkey Comet is way too cool for school. What's up?
When I was little, I was a big F-14 fan. I love Top Gun. I watched it about 4 billion times. And then I was always a big fan of the Thunderbirds. They flew F-16s, and I thought that the plane was given to us by God himself.
That is awesome.
Dang, this is crazy.
So when I found out that the Thunderbirds were performing just a little ways from the shop, I decided to have a field trip my style. How to do, sir?
Welcome, guys.
Hey.
So glad y'all could get out of the shop.
Thanks for having us. Field trips. Nice to get away.
Welcome out of the garage. I'm Major Scott Petz, the advanced pilot and narrator with the United States Air Force Thunderbirds, call sign Cheetah. The Thunderbirds are the United States Air Force Advanced Demonstration Team. We take our 8 F-16s on the road and perform air shows every single week from March until November. This is a high-performance aircraft. It's, 9 Gs going over 500 miles an hour, and 6 of them have more horsepower than the entire starting lineup of the Daytona 500 in one motor of one jet. So it's a complex system. You guys want to pick my brain or the harder workers on the team, the mechanics here.
So what kind of workout routine do y'all do to get in this kind of shape?
We do the 8-minute app.
So we get here, and us guys, man, we're all kind of starstruck, We love what we do, but those Air Force guys, they're on a totally different level than us. Of course, I wouldn't know that firsthand, but Aaron would. He actually got to fly with these guys a couple weeks back.
We're going ballistic, man.
Guess it pays to be one of the bosses.
The one crazy thing is, people spend a lot of time in airplanes, crossing the country or going, business, and they don't realize what can happen, like, physically, whenever you're moving at that speed. Because you get in a big airplane, everything's nice and smooth. Say, we got in these things, then...
Head rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Yeah. You pulled 9.2 Gs, I think it was, and you did it a couple times.
I wasn't able to keep track of it, but yeah.
But you didn't pass out.
You guys can see what Mr. Kaufman was wearing. It's called a G-suit, so you can feel the bladders inside of here, all the way down the legs.
At about 4.5 Gs, those will start inflating. So
air's pumped into that?
Exactly. Right here is connected to the jet, and as you pull Gs, it will inflate, and as you release Gs,
so it compresses.
Exactly.
John, you need some of that?
Keeps the blood from leaving your head.
I had no idea how hard it was going to squeeze, and then we went up there and started pulling Gs, and holy smokes, I think it's gonna make 2 of me.
Yeah,
you know?
that's crazy.
I hurt for a week after that, you know? It's hard to explain, you know, the level of pressure up there.
You guys want to see a jet up close?
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on. Have you guys worked on like jet motors or anything? So you have
Yeah, every day.
every day.
Yeah. The next thing you know, we're staring into the mouth of this huge intake.
There's 30 blades up there with this engine.
Any gearhead out there knows how cool it is to get up close and personal with an incredible machine like this.
Right up here, you can kind of think of it as a transmission. We call it an accessory drive gearbox. Our tires, we keep them at around 300 PSI, and the wheel is actually designed to separate apart, light off right around here just from the heat, and that's what creates around a 16 to 20-foot flame shooting out the back.
Each wing holds about 500 pounds of fuel.
The thing is, this isn't like a car. If something goes wrong, you can't just pull over to the side of the road. Mechanic working on these things, he's got to be on top of his game.
Think of like an engine, you have a piece of a valve, whatever it is, you'll blow a hole in the block. You're far away from a fuel tank. We have fuel tanks all around the engine, so if a blade punctures that, you're now a fireball flying around. So.
All right, guys, the pilots are stepping out. They'll be loading up in the 1 through 6 jets.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, we will. Thanks for having us.
So the Thunderbirds are doing their big shows with the music and everything on the weekends. But lucky for us, they have to rehearse. And we got a front row seat.
God, dude, they look like they're right on top of each other. I call that going to work.
Yeah, the stress those wings are under, man.
The opportunity to go and fly with the Thunderbirds was a childhood fantasy of mine. We can't even walk down a hallway that well. You can't be a gearhead and not love this.
Controlled stall.
Yeah, just walking it, yeah.
Very, very challenging, especially on a windy day.
That's a lot of work. I know this took a bit of a bite out of the monkeys' day, and they're not on vacation like me, but sometimes taking a break is exactly what everybody needs. Maybe as a little bit of inspiration, these guys have a schedule to keep, and they're doing a good job. Now my guys can get back to the shop and get back to it.
Man, it sure does make you feel proud of the old red, white, and blue.
That's a hell of a show.
Oh, man. So you came in from Indiana?
No, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Right on. It's Texas weather. If you don't like it, just wait a minute. So you guys remember that truck I bought from a friend of mine the other day? The guy selling it was kind of emotionally attached to it, so he wanted it to go to a good home. Well, since Aaron seems to be enjoying his vacation a little more than I'd like, this isn't a good time for us to build it. So I had Tony put it up on the old interwebs, and before you could say, give me a beer, this guy named Jason from Minnetonka or Minnesota or, I don't know, somewhere cold, said he's coming down to look at it. I said, cool, bring a trailer, I'll hold it till you get here. So here it is, 69 Chevy C10. Decent truck, just clean, no rust out. It's got some surface rust. And I bought it here local from one family owned. Oh. And usually what I do on something like this is just go through it front to back and make sure I can tell you the truth about what it does and doesn't do.
Yeah.
So, what's your plan?
I'm kind of thinking an LS swap, kind of a gas monkey garage clone that I build myself and I can probably actually afford. So.
Really? Well, this one's got the original 6. We tuned it up, new brakes, battery, cleaned the carb, cleaned the gas tank.
I like the 69 C10. It's kind of a unique body style, short box, sporty little truck. It looks really clean. So does this thing run?
Yeah.
Up in Minnesota, due to the salt, all of our classic cars kind of get rusty and crusty. So definitely, if you can come down south and pick one up, you have to take that opportunity.
Throw the hood down, let's go for a ride. So we take the truck out on the road. You know how I work. Got to seal the deal.
It could be a scotch pep here, but it's running nice and clean.
Uh-oh. We died. And, well, it's not running all that great. We're off now. I mean, what are you gonna do? It's a hot rod, or it's gonna be a hot rod if I can sell it to this guy. So there you go, man. Seats just need to warm up a little bit.
Just purring like a kitten.
Besides, Jason didn't come all this way to go home empty-handed. I paid $1,000 for it, but I think I can make 8 times that if I play my cards right. This one being one family owned and what have you, and it is in really, really good shape. I don't know, 10 grand?
Richard starts at 10,000. I'm like, oh my gosh, my wife would kill me. I don't think I can get to 10. I can do 5.
How about 7,500?
75 seems like a lot, but it is solid. It'd be nice if I could throw a soda can back here and it not fall out, but I can do 75 today.
Cool. Let's do it, man. I'm a little disappointed to part with this truck, but Gas Monkey did well. We got a local one-owner truck back on the road, and it's going to a good home, and it's gonna be a pretty cool hot rod.